We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but we them nothing but Niners.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and we are here to bring you guys another fun-filled episode. Just when y'all thought we didn't have nothing to talk about, the squad pops back up. I'm 49ers Mike _NFL. Down there beneath me is my man Nick, 49er Faithful 365. And over here, this guy, Breezy, 49ers Breezy. That's with the IE on Twitter, not with the Y. What's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling today, man? Y'all good?
What's good, family? Everything's everything, man.
What's good?
Y'all gonna see my dog Niner running around in the background and all that, but hey, y'all getting us. This is what we do. Before we get to all that stuff, though, guys, we have to go through some formalities. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if this is your first time here on the YouTube page. Guys, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Periscopes, we have my Periscope, we have Nick's Periscope, we got the Nothing But Niners Periscope. No, that one's not up there yet, right? We have a Twitch or something like that. I don't know the technology, but yeah, it's a Twitch. Okay, there's even a Twitch account. So you have no excuse to not catch these shows live, guys. We're on all of that simultaneous broadcast. You're getting it here from us because we put in that work for you guys. So make sure you guys check all that stuff out. Hit the likes, hit the hearts, thumbs up, refer a friend, all that good stuff. Do all of that for us, okay? Also, hit us up on our Twitter and Snapchat handles. It is nothing but 9ERS. Again, that is nothing but the number 9 ERS, and then give us a follow on our Facebook and Instagram pages, okay? That is Nothing But Niners. That's spelled all the way out, spaces in between, no numbers in there anywhere. We have two different websites we want you guys to look at. The first one being www.nothingbutniners.com. That is the website where you're going to see the articles, the pictures, the videos, and all that good stuff. A page dedicated to you fans, okay? You guys can go over there, check it out, all right? Again, that is www.nothingbutniners.com. There it is right there. You guys can shoot us emails. I talked about the picture page with the fans, right? You guys, show us your game day attire, man. You got some new stuff. I heard my guys over there at 49ers Hive got the Joe Staley shirt. If you get one of them, I want to see it. Show us, man. Send us an email, nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. And then last but certainly not least, if you want some of our stuff, that NB Niners apparel, okay? We got the hoodies. We got the pants. Well, I can't say what else we got because it's not officially on the site yet, but we working on some other stuff for you guys too. We got mugs and a whole bunch of other stuff. It is shop nb9ers.com. That is shop nb9ers.com. Boom, done, out the way. Fellas, let's talk some 49ers, man. What's going on?
Everything, man. I mean, there's a lot of rumors going on still, man. I mean, dang, the season, we just had the draft, and can we get to the season? Jeez, like rumors is everything right now, man. What is going on?
It's pretty disgusting. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You know, we might as well start there, man. Nick, man, did you know that this front office they can't get along with each other?
Really?
Yeah, this is the most dysfunctional front office I have ever seen before in my entire life. I mean, every single time you turn around, they're just fighting about something.
Wow, man.
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like every time we turn around, it's just there's turmoil in the front office. Kyle Shanahan just always dirty looking John Lynch when they're next to each other, like smugging him, right? I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy.
It is, man. I mean, this time last year, there was this big report that came out. It said the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch did not get along. There was turmoil, trouble in paradise. They just didn't like each other. They couldn't agree on anything, right? And then this year, around the same time, here comes Mike Florio saying that Kyle Shanahan says that John Lynch talks too much and you have to keep draft secrets away from him because he's too honest at the microphone, too honest at the podium. Look at this. Here, I got something for you guys to see. I want you guys to see this right here. I took a screenshot of this today. 49ers Kyle Shanahan says reported discord with John Lynch is complete bullshit. Now, this I took a screenshot of today. Okay. Here's the crazy part about this overlay. If you could zoom in, which you probably can't, but down in the bottom right underneath where it says bullshit is the date. Okay. Can you guys see that date down there?
April 30th.
Yeah. Keep reading.
April 30th, 2019.
2019. Exactly a year. It's like they have an alarm set to start fucking with the 49ers. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. Exactly a year. It's like, oh, it's time to get with these guys again. Are we going to start buying into it this year? I mean, let me know, because last year it worked wonders for us. It got us to the Super Bowl, right? Creating this fake Discord and all that. What's going on? What do you guys think about all this?
Go ahead, Breezy.
You know, I think, man, it's part of our culture by now. Like, I think the general manager and the head coach embrace the shit. Like, I think it's something that they realize them getting themselves into, and they're gonna let those guys go ahead and do the talking, and they're gonna go out there on the field, and their players gonna do the, they're gonna do the talking. So, like, I think it's just something that, it's fake news. It's something that's going to ignite another fire. If you thought we saw a brotherhood or a fraternity of guys come together last season, the media is just adding and adding and adding to the monster that they're creating. It's like the media is building the Frankenstein. You get what I'm saying? Like, we got all the pieces. We got the scientists. You know what I'm saying? We got the doctors. We got the pieces to build the giant, the Frankenstein, and the media just keeps adding more electricity to it, yo. So let them let the like, for them to bring up a story, for you to take a screenshot of a story that happened 1 year ago, almost exactly 3 days before today, 1 year ago, for the same Discord to come out is a little bit ridiculous, man. It's just a little ridiculous. And shame on Mike Florio, man. I can't wait till we talk about this guy, man. Like, I mean, at some point, man, we gotta get on him, bro. We gotta get on him.
How do you go and pick? Mike Florio just came out, I guess early last week too, saying that he picks the Niners to return to the Super Bowl and win it, and then he comes out with this nonsense of, this nonsense of Kyle Shanahan is, and when you read the article, look, I'm gonna be honest here, like you kind of look at the way they phrased it, as in John Lynch kind of has a big mouth, right? And we all know that John Lynch kind of has a big mouth, so. Like, you put it into words as in maybe he wasn't like keeping it from him, but he was kind of trying to keep it quiet because John Lynch tends to slip up a little bit here and there. And when we, we've all said it. I believe, Mike, you said it too. Like, John Lynch just talks too damn much. Like, when he's out there, like, even when him and John or him and Kyle are next to each other, he kind of jumps in and takes Kyle, off the floor. And he's just like, and then Kyle will say something, and then John will go, oh, well, let me touch on this also. And then he goes and says something else, right? So it's kind of the same as, just, is there any truth to it? I don't agree with it. I don't believe so. But there is a little speculation as to what John Lynch does. John Lynch does talk a lot, and he does say things sometimes that he's not supposed to say, and then Kyle Shanahan will come back and say, oh, well, we didn't really know. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't the option. So, but look, Mike Florio's always has it out for the Niners, and it's just funny that it's a year later and this article comes out again.
It's like clockwork, baby.
It is. It really is. And it's one thing to say that a guy talks a lot or talks too much. It's another thing to insinuate that you're keeping things from him to protect the secrets of the franchise. That, you get what I'm saying? That's not the case. That's not. It literally can't be the case. John Lynch goes out there and he paints pictures that we need to paint. For example, we want DeForest Buckner to be a 49er for a long time, right? People say, oh, well, why did he say that? They traded him away, right? Well,
business.
If I was planning on getting rid of this guy, you wouldn't sit here and offer me a first-round pick for him.
Right.
Not in the top 15, you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? And so it's calculated moves. John Lynch is literally the most media-trained guy in the building.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
ahead,
why I don't understand, like, why they don't, or why we don't, as a group, we don't understand that. This dude worked with Fox for 2 years. Like, he's been trained. Plus, he went to Stanford. I'm sure he says all the right shit, right? And if he does have a big mouth, oh, freaking wow. I mean, it can't be worse than any of the other 31 big mouths we know at GM in the league, right? And this guy's came in from day one, took a squad, had to chip off some guys, had to cut some tie. We had to cut ties with Navarro Bowman, kid. Like that's like my big cousin. Like
Nah, we didn't cut ties with him.
But you understand
He
what
cut
I'm
his
trying
own
to.
ties.
But
Get that shit right.
At the end of the day, we still had to cut ties. We asked him to play less, right? We asked him to do some things. He didn't want to. So therefore, the way it was set up, he had to be let go. But we did set him up to go to, a reasonable place to where he can continue to perform. Losing him was just like, dang, but I had to understand it was for the culture, B. It was for this team to return and become, one again. And that's what they had to do. They had to bring in their own guys, and it took some time. And so what if he talks a lot? I really don't give two flying cares. Let him talk. He's saying the right things. Like, think about it. Matt asked him in an interview, I think it was Matt, about did he think Joe Staley was going to retire? And he specifically said, no. We expect Staley to be with us for a few more seasons. Like, he said that. Imagine if he wouldn't have said that, though. Yeah, I don't really know where he's going to be or where his head is right now, blah, 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 and all that good stuff. Man, we wouldn't got Trent Williams. And if we did, we would have had to spend more, right? Am I correct? We probably would have had to spend a first
now all of a
round
sudden
pick.
the Niners have a need at the position. Talk about it, bro.
That's it, man. That's it.
And that's exactly it. That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit here and you can't go to the microphone or the podium and be honest. You have to play the game. You have to. It's just part of the game. And people just like, I just don't understand this guy. I didn't click on the article. I don't encourage anyone else to click on the article. I don't even encourage anybody to listen to that segment on KMBR because I don't want them to think that people want to hear this guy. I would rather this guy just completely disappear. I'm not wishing death on anybody, but I just don't care to hear from him anymore. It's never anything positive. You can say, oh, he's picking the Niners. Well, it's because he's got a hard pill to swallow, that we're the best team in the NFC. So, of course, he's going to pick us to go back, right? But, like, I'm over this dude, man. He's just so annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, Nick. I see you.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to like I said, I don't agree with Mike Florio. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I do agree with the part that John Lynch does talk too much. For some odd reason, we got a crazy echo again too.
I swear you just messing with me.
No, when Breezy was talking, it was echoing. Now I'm talking, it's echoing. When you talk, there's no echo. So, but yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy because you go back and you look at it and it's like, okay, does he talk too much? Yes. Does he say the things that he needs to say? Yes. Has he ever slipped up? No. And that's what I mean by he is, he talks too much, as in, I feel like he steps on Kyle Shanahan's feet, or toes, I should say, a little more than normal. So he, but you got to remember too, one thing that we got to remember is San Francisco used to be Rumorville. Everything used to get out. Everything. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan came in here and nothing gets out anymore. Not a single thing. So John Lynch is obviously not saying too much, and Kyle Shanahan's obviously not saying too much. So to me, I don't think they're keeping things from each other. I think they're like brothers, and they do what's best for the team together. So I'm with it.
My final thought on it is this, and you see this a lot in partnerships. You see this a lot in good working relationships that involve more than one person, right? It's a little bit of good cop, bad cop. And it's a problem for someone if they're getting fooled by it. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of times where in pre-production, we're sitting here, we do the shows, and it's like, all right, I'm going to take this stance. But you guys know off the air, I don't agree with what I'm about to say. You know what I mean? And so if that's happening in the media where it looks like John Lynch is saying too much, you know what I'm saying? And then, like he said, he wants to see, and this is going to be our transition point. I want DeForest Buckner to be a part of the 49ers for a long, long time, right? Well, he just recently said that about someone else. And let's transition to this guy. And that's George Kittle. He said George Kittle is going to be a part of the 49ers for a long, long time. He's not going anywhere. Now, our guy Dan on Twitter did a poll. Would you trade George Kittle for anybody in the NFL? and 84% of the people said no. They're going to keep George Kittle over any player in the entire NFL. Any player. I just find that crazy. I don't even know. I don't even know. So my question to you guys is this, right? One, is there somebody you would trade George Kittle for? And two, do you believe John Lynch when he says the same thing he just said about DeForest Buckner? Or is he trying to get some trade offers for George Kittle? Let's create the rumors ourselves, fellas.
This was a poll on Twitter, right? I did see that.
Yeah, let me give credit. Let me give credit to the author really quick. I don't want to be that guy.
It was Dan Durant, wasn't it?
But his Twitter handle isn't Dan Durant. I think that's how his name pops up. No, his Twitter. I'm sorry, it's Niners Dan, but his Twitter handle is Dan82523.
82523.
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't know, man. I did press no on that poll, and the reason that I did is because the tight ends are becoming more and more in the NFL, and George Kittle is one of the top, if not the top, tight end in the NFL. Where this team is right now, I don't feel that there's a need that would put us over the top getting rid of him. I think getting rid of him would only set us back. So I don't think there's any player in the NFL that's worth him right now for what he's done in the NFL in only 3 years, and really only 2, not counting his rookie year. And secondly, what the amount of talent that he has and what tight ends are now bringing to the league, I don't think there's anything worth giving him up for. I really think we take ourselves and put ourselves 2 or 3 steps backwards in trying to get, another position player, even quarterback. I'm fine. Like, we can win with what we have right now. There's no need to get rid of him and get something else. And I still think even if you get a star player, back as a quarterback or whatever it may be, you're still losing out on the tight end production. And Kyle Shanahan's system is huge with a tight end production, as well as the rest of the league. You see a lot of these teams going 2 tight end sets now. A ton of teams are going 2 tight ends. So I definitely wouldn't do anything with George Kittle other than sign him long term.
Question. When Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, who led the team in receiving? Just a question. Was it Julio?
Julio.
And who the hell was the tight end?
He had. Did he have Gonzalez in his last year?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Gonzalez was there.
Tony Gonzalez?
I'm pretty sure the pick of the stick. Didn't Tony Gonzalez play in that game?
Yeah.
Was that Shanahan or no?
No, that wasn't. That Kyle wasn't there then.
I might be getting him wrong.
I'll look it up.
But he
Look it
had
up.
Austin Hooper. He had Austin Hooper one year.
Okay.
And then he had was it Toilolo?
It could have been those guys. My point is, he didn't use tight ends like that. I think Kittle is our Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? So Kittle isn't the typical prototypical type tight end. Can we all agree? Like, he's not your big average tight end, like your prototypical NFL tight end, just like Kyle Juszczyk isn't the prototypical fullback on the team. So I guess I brought that up just to say that I don't think it matters whether he plays that he's a tight end. I just think the fact that he's a staple in this organization, from his grit on the football field, his wit in the locker room, like the fact that he has fun. I think this is a guy you can see, as the face of your franchise going forward. Why? He's a business commodity. Like, George Kittle is selling seats, my guys. This guy is filling seats. Not only is he selling seats, he's got kids back into wrestling. He's got kids, and I'm not talking about WWE. I'm talking about wrestling that don't nobody else watch. Like, Kittle is a fan favorite, and I understand that later on in their years, usually the fan favorites go because of the way the contracts are, and it just happens. Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, need I keep naming more? Like, they go. Like, I get it. But as a fan favorite, as they are in their prime, I think that's the one guy you don't move. So I put no as well in that poll. Like I wouldn't trade him for Patrick Mahomes. I wouldn't trade him for anybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it was like 3 people, maybe, but if it was just one person, if it was like Mahomes, Hopkins, and Saquon Barkley, and you package them all together somehow, and you wanted to give up Kittle, possibly I would make that move, but that ain't ever gonna happen, right? So I don't think this is a guy that you want to move away from your unit, because we all watched the offense without Kittle, right? We all watched it. Like it was stagnant like a mug, right? Like it just didn't seem like the receiving core or the running core could move the ball, right? And that was without a Kittle. And it's just because he creates a matchup nightmare. So I just feel like when you know how Kyle said having Julio Jones was a bonus. Well, I think him drafting George Kittle and George Kittle developing is that bonus for the 49ers, and he'll just make everybody else complimentary around him to keep that system working. So Kittle will probably be signed. So when when John Lynch says we expect Kittle to be here for a long, long time, you better god dang mark that in your books that's what's going to happen. It's different than a defensive player who you can replace, you can replace in a draft, whereas it's hard finding a skill set player. And that's the difference between these players, skill sets and just regular players. Like they're just different to find.
Absolutely. He had George Kittle, you said he is our Julio Jones. I love that comment, man. That sums it up right there, right? I was just wondering, you guys, we're talking fantasy football here. There's not a single person y'all would trade for. You wouldn't trade.
Oh, we talk about fantasy football?
No, I'm talking about for the 49ers right now. You wouldn't trade for Aaron Rodgers. You wouldn't trade for Aaron Donald. You wouldn't trade for any player in the entire league. Y'all think George Kittle is the best player in the entire NFL?
It's not about being the best player in the NFL. It's about where our team is. We don't need other pieces. We can win with what we have. So why get rid of an all-pro tight end who's going to continue to do well, other than, knock on wood, of an injury, is going to continue to produce in the NFL, and you're not going backwards? I'm not trading for anybody. If our team needed a franchise quarterback, maybe. If our team needed, a defensive lineman where we didn't have anything, yes, maybe. But this team right now, where it's at, George Kittle's a 49er for the rest of his career.
Yeah, man. I understand that. Like we look at other players and we say, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. When the pocket breaks down, he can get the ball out. Blah blah blah, all this good stuff." I get it, yo. But I mean, if we build an offensive line and give Jimmy G one more second, I believe he could do the same shit. Like so. I just don't think we trade Kittle, man. It's just not a guy you want to move on from. I feel like not trade Kittle, but just I wouldn't trade Kittle for any player because Kittle, not just the athletic skill set that Kittle brings. Kittle brings a whole other dynamic to the game. Like Aaron Donald doesn't bring that dynamic to the game. I don't hear freaking Patrick Mahomes talking to people because he sounds like Kermit the Frog. He don't bring that dynamic to the game. It's a whole freaking like Kittle has a whole package, man. We were lucky to find George Kittle in the 5th round. We were lucky that he was still on the board in the 5th round. Shout out to the 31 other general managers and head coaches out there who fucked that up. Pardon my French, but we appreciate you here at Nothing But Niners.
We missed on him too a couple of times, so it's all good.
I don't know if we missed on him. I think we just had a
we drafted other positions. Right. We went other routes, and he just happened to still be there.
All right, so now we talked about players, right? But I want to pose another question based off of this, right? A GM comes to you and says they're willing to give you 2 first-round picks and a second for George Kittle. Are you doing that? Now, this is what makes George Kittle so special. He is quite literally the complete tight end. He catches at a phenomenal rate. Yards after contact at a phenomenal rate. Blocking at a phenomenal rate. He is it's not that George Kittle does stuff that other tight ends don't do. Every tight end blocks. Every tight end is supposed to catch. Every tight end is supposed to, come back in and be a fullback from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Every tight end is supposed to do these things. The thing is, George Kittle does them all way up here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's off limits. We got to stop saying that.
Okay.
We cannot sit here and say that there's anybody that is untradeable in the NFL.
That's fair.
Flat out not true.
I agree.
Fair, but you asked me an opinion. Would I do it?
Right. No,
I'm not doing it.
Now I'm changing it. That was player for player. And I agree with you guys, just so you know. I went on Twitter and I was building this thing up. I was saying, you guys can't think of a single person. I'm not trading George for anybody either, because it's about fitting in our team. People said Aaron Donald. Well, if we brought Aaron Donald here, maybe we get to pressure Patrick Mahomes a little bit more, but it was the secondary that let us down. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to trade for Gilmore? Well, the offense still had to put up some points. Now we don't even have Kittle out there. The offense is going to struggle a little bit more. You know what I'm like? This is what
right. I think no matter who you get, it takes our offense 2 steps back.
Thank you, Nick.
And that's what I was going to say. So I went back in my head, but I was giving off the persona on Twitter. I can't believe nobody can think of anybody that they want. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was acting like I was disappointed, but I wouldn't trade George for anybody because it's about chemistry. It's one thing to have a good player on your team. It's one thing to complete a team with a player. George Kittle is like the quintessential complementary piece to this offense.
Can I just state something? And I know a lot of people say that, if we don't think Patrick Mahomes is this and that, as great as Patrick Mahomes has become and is blossoming into an NFL quarterback, I personally don't think he's smart enough to run Shanahan's system. I don't think we break down how complicated this is. I don't think we talk about how complicated the system is. I don't think you realize that Jimmy G only learned like 6 plays his first year when he got traded here. Then he learned like another 6 plays to make it 12 plays like his first season before he got hurt. It's very complicated system because of all the different formations and things like that. I think Mahomes' athleticism and his skill is pretty cool, but I don't think he has the cerebral to think about all the stuff you watch Patrick Mahomes does. A lot of shit happens when the pocket breaks down. And that's great. Russell Wilson does the same thing, but I think Russell Wilson is 10 times more cerebral than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, can I get an amen? That's just what it is. I think Jimmy G is growing as that cerebral quarterback. We don't see all the throws from him, but we keep seeing him progress. Like I said, I just don't think Patrick Mahomes, as great as he is, I don't think he'll be able to run this particular system that well. He does well with the Chiefs and they changed up the system for him opposed to when Alex Smith had it too.
You hit it on the head. I mean, that offense is get him out of the pocket and throw the ball, right? And that's an Andy Reid type offense. I watched it here in Philadelphia for so long. There's very, very, very rarely that they're going to
facts
just do a 3-step drop back and stay in the pocket and throw. I mean, he does do that, but the main base of the playbook, to me, watching the Chiefs and watching Andy Reid's system, is getting the quarterback into open space to be able to free your receivers, and you got speed down the field. So, and you said it, it's the same thing what Russell Wilson does. That's why they continue to win with no offensive line. Because their playbook is get Russell Wilson outside the pocket and let him do what he does best. I don't know if I would say that he doesn't have it all up there. I think that, with time he could learn this playbook.
Right. But I'm saying now, if we made that trade, I don't think he would come. We would have to, how we had to script it for Jimmy and strip it down just a little bit. You would do that. And don't get it twisted, guys. Patrick Mahomes is amazing. I'm not saying he's dumb. I'm just saying this hope. Even Jimmy G doesn't know. Even Tom Brady would have had issues with this particular playbook. They would have had to rescope the offense to fit around Brady. So, let's just keep that 100 right there. The playbook is really complicated.
I will say this. I'm not going to bash Patrick Mahomes at all. The young man is absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And I think that if Patrick Mahomes was on this offense, we would see a different dynamic than what we see now. I think we would see more deep shots. I would see Kyle Shanahan use the athleticism to his benefit and all that stuff. I think he completely changes the dynamic of this offense. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, but that means you also take away Kittle. That was a little thing there. It was, do you add a player to remove Kittle?
Correct.
And then what happens? Then what becomes of it all? So
if he doesn't have the weapons to throw to, then who is Patrick Mahomes?
Well, no,
Nothing, because Patrick Mahomes is not throwing 30, 50, 60-yard touchdowns to himself. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, like, I get it. He'll throw the
but it's
ball.
two-sided. That's a two-sided argument because
But think about it, though, Mike.
no, but listen, great quarterbacks make wide receivers look good. Look at the weapons that left New England, after playing with Tom Brady. You get what I'm saying? Okay, my dog is arguing with it. This is not 101 Dalmatians. Chill. I'm sorry.
Patrick Mahomes is working with a bunch of speed guys. Like, what happens when he has to work with a bunch of guys that have to run routes, that has to cut and get open? Like, that's what I mean. Like,
and you want to see him in rhythm, right? But he's only been in the league for 3 years, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, Jimmy G been in the league for 7, but he only been playing for like 3 too. Like, you know what I mean?
I get that. That's what I'm saying. So Mahomes
not comparing the two,
but right? No, I know, but he can grow into it. He's just getting started, and that's what makes him special and exciting. And that's why people are like, "Oh, I want Mahomes," and I understand it. I don't want to bash a dude, but I understand people saying I wouldn't trade Kittle to get him. But let's double back. What trade offer? What's the minimum trade offer? Now, don't sit here and be like, "Oh, if somebody offered me 10 first round," obviously you're gonna take that. What is the minimum?
I think what you threw out there, man. Go back to throwing out your scenario, yo, because that was a great one, yo. You said two first rounds and a second.
And a second for George Kittle. What would you do? Now, the thing is, you don't know where those firsts are going to fall because it's going to be a current,
correct,
a future, and I don't know what second. Maybe you can get a first and a second in that same year, but then the next year is a first. Would y'all do it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. 2 firsts and a second. That saves you a lot of money. You got to think of general management now. Now we're talking money, cap, and all those good things, and you have 3 cracks of possibility of replacing that guy, right? Like you get 3 shots at it. I might have to do that, man. I might have to pull the trigger on that. 2 first rounders and a second rounder. I might have to pull the trigger on that. That's a little bit too rich for my blood.
Now, I saw Nick sit back on some Dawn type ish. He needs a cigar over there. I can't wait to hear what Nick's minimal offer is for George Kittle. What's the minimum that you're going to accept for him?
Man, this is hard, truthfully, because look, you could pick 2 first-round picks and they bust, and you just given up, and you just lost everything, right? And not every single player that comes out of the first round is a George Kittle. Dude, you're making me give a minimum here, and I have no minimum, to be honest with you. I really have no minimum, but I'm gonna give you one because you asked for one. But man, does it have to be specific for draft, or can I name a specific players?
Hey, throw in a player or position if you feel like you need to. What if you are John Lynch and someone saying, I am taking Kittle from you today, you got to put it together. Tell me what you're demanding then. They're not taking no for an answer. Let me know what you're gonna get, what you're accepting. I know it's tough, and I know it's crazy. And by the way,
yeah, guys, because I'm gonna sound like a homer.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. For people watching, we don't want Kittle going anywhere because
correct.
Listen, they're gonna make George Kittle the highest paid tight end in NFL history. It's only gonna cost us $13.8 million a year.
Yeah, I think he gets around 15,
like 585, like 5 for 85 or something like that.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. For the production that he gives you on offense, George Kittle is absolutely worth it. He's not going anywhere, so that's not what we're doing. We're having fun with the conversation. So let's just be clear here. Let's keep it moving. All right, now I'm giving Nick some time to think over there also.
All right, so if Nick is thinking, I got an offer that I would take. Nick, you got your offer?
No, go ahead.
All right, so I tell you,
really hard for me because
I agree. It's not easy, but if I had to make this trade and this offer was proposed to me, if Philadelphia called me up and said, I'll give you Zach Ertz, my first round pick and a second round pick, I might take that shit. That's just me though. You could say no all you want, man, but now we're talking like the second best tight end in the league, right? Who could possibly come to the 49ers and be the best tight end in the league. Right, he blocks, he runs seam routes, he does everything Kittle could do minus a lot of the yak. He's more of a big catch receiver
and right? Blocking. He's a horrible blocker.
Okay, so he's a horrible blocker, but we got other tight ends for that, right? We drafted some young guys. All right, but we still get a first round pick and we get a second round pick. I'm just saying. That's something I might do.
Travis Kelce in 2 first. Who says no? Now lie to me. Lie to me.
I can't say no to that one.
I would take Travis Kelce over Zach.
Of course you would, because you get 2. I mean, but I don't think Kansas City is calling us.
No, like, I'm saying player wise, I would take Kelce
over Ertz. I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, even and that's crazy because Kelce even has more of injuries than Ertz. But Ertz is going to be 30 years old. I don't like his play. I think he can catch the football, but other than that, he's an overrated tight end in this league, I believe.
And you know what made Ertz go crazy is that he had a lot of catches. There weren't a lot of yards.
Right.
He had a lot of 4, 6. He would finish a game in fantasy football, and this I hate saying this. He would finish a game in fantasy football with 17 points because he had 12 catches and 30 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like it was nothing.
Why the fuck are we complaining about a guy catching the fucking football? Like what is going on here?
No. It's not a complaint. It's not a complaint because if George Kittle had those same 12 catches, it's going to be for 80, 100. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying the difference. That's all I'm saying.
I think production wise, he moves the chains. So I think that would be a guy you could bring in. That would be the lowest offer I would take. That was the question that he asked. Ertz first and a second.
Yeah, I mean.
And Nick don't want to say it. He don't want to say anything.
Bro, if anything, I'm going like 2 firsts and Ramsey. Like, that's probably my minimum.
That corner. Okay.
That's probably my minimum.
So we still going to suck on offense. All right. I got you,
not
bro.
Necessarily. Not necessarily.
I'm just saying, you just losing that production.
Listen, I always think this about quarterbacks also, and then we're going to move on, right? I always think this about quarterbacks and systems, right? Once you take away the quarterback security blanket, you force him to see everything now.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? So we heard about this play. Remember the Saints play? I was just watching some video. I think it was George Kittle, as a matter of fact. It was a video that Kittle put out this week. I don't know if it was with NFL Network or ESPN or something like that, but he was sitting here and he was saying, the play, the 4th down play, we had ran it a couple of times in practice. It never worked, right? He was like, and then in the huddle, Jimmy was like, I'm coming to you on this play. It didn't work all week in practice, right? But Jimmy had his mind made up. You're my guy. I am going to you. You get what I'm saying? Like that's exactly what he said. Imagine a system where Kittle isn't there and Jimmy has to actually read the field. He can't have a predetermined. You get what I'm saying? Like it opens up everything and it allows Kyle Shanahan to work the way he wants to work in this system. I'm just saying that it's scary. It's you don't want to think about it, but it's a good thing. And no, George Kittle is not getting $20 million. He's not getting $17 million either. I don't know why I keep seeing this in here. It's not going to happen.
I think he's going to get $15 million.
I think he's going to get 15, and I think this is one of the reasons why they had to move on from DeForest Buckner, guys. And this is why they moved on from that. They gave Eric Armstead his pay. They got rookies now, and they're going to be able to pay George Kittle the money that he deserves, man. George Kittle was playing for peanuts, guys. Like, let's just call it, and he's probably the most productive player on the team. And in every category, finished with over 1,000 yards last year. He didn't lead the team in touchdown passes, but he definitely was very productive. This guy George Kittle definitely deserves his payday, and it's coming. And I'm hoping that it's with the 49ers, man. I'm hoping that we find a way to agree with him. He agrees to the deal, and he's well deserved. And guys, just think about it. We signed George Kittle for the next. What do you guys say? 5 years? 5 years?
I think we got to remember how old he is also. George Kittle's already 26 years old right now today. I know that he's on a rookie year contract, but he's got in the league when he was 23. That's old for a rookie. So you got to think about this. You give him a 6-year deal. He's 32 years old at the end of that contract. Here's what I think, and I'll be completely honest with you guys. Stop it. He resets the quarterback market by making 13.8. I said that number, but what's going to happen is going to be a 6-year deal. Here's the thing. And it's because it's his number, I think 85% of that contract is guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
And that's the difference. See, all these other quarterbacks, all these other tight ends, they go out there, the highest paid guy. I think Gronk is getting $10 million a year, right? Someone else is getting like 11 or 12 or something like that. And it's not every single year. It's 1 year here, and then it's $9 million here, and then it's $12 million again, right? Kittle's going to get the 13 and some change every year, but he's going to get a large percentage of it guaranteed. That's the difference right there. And you do that while respecting him, saying you are the best at your position. And you're not breaking the bank and paying him wide receiver money. He's never getting that 17, 18.
Do you know the highest paid average per year is right now? Tight end.
Did Kelsey get a new contract?
No.
Ertz.
It might be Ertz. Who is it?
It's Hunter Henry at 10.6
a year.
That's my point, though. That's
a
what I'm
year.
saying. So this whole 15, 20, 30, it doesn't make any sense. You reset the market with giving him just 13 off the bat.
Right. He'll be
Travis
have to go
Kelce is
there.
only making 9.3 a year.
Here's
The top three is Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, and Travis Kelce.
And none of them are making $11, $12 million a year. It doesn't make sense.
The highest is 10.6.
It doesn't make sense with people
So
saying,
you
he's going to get 15 million. That's just way too much. That's wide receiver money.
So even at 13.8, Mike, that might be a little bit too high of a number, right? Think about it. So, like, it depends what happens before Kittle gets his extension. If I'm the 49ers, I'm trying to get this done now. Like, I'm trying to get it done before the season start. I'm trying to make George Kittle the highest paid tight end. And if I could top him off at 12, 12.2, and then set the new trend and the new market for the tight ends, then we're Gucci, and that's 12.2 a year, right? So I think that I can guarantee you that's what they're trying to do. I think that they wait, and I know I shouldn't bring this guy up, but this might be a reason why they may wait on the Trent Williams deal until the end of the season just to see, you know what I'm saying, what happens, because I think priority number one is Kittle. And I think priority number two will be that left tackle Trent Williams that they just acquired in the trade. But it could go either way. I think both of those guys will be here. I think Kittle gets his extension before the season starts, and everything will be smooth sailing. And I think that number might be in the 12s. Like, if you're telling me the highest paid right now is 10.6, then why would I pay somebody 13.8? It doesn't make any sense. Now, here's the thing.
I think the reason why my number is there, I just want to answer that, and you said here's the thing, but you can get back to it, right? Don't lose your thought. The reason is because the cap is inflating. These guys signed their contracts now. Hooper just got a new one, I believe, but the cap is going up, and so I think it's going to be based off of the percentage of the cap for that position.
Hooper's going to. So this is where it gets interesting, right? So Hunter Henry's a free agent in 2021
next year. Okay.
Rob Gronkowski, obviously, these are the top guys, right, that are getting paid, because Rob Gronkowski is the fifth paid highest tight end in the league right now. And then the next closest to him is Jared Cook at $8 million a year. That is a 2021 free agent. And then Greg Olsen is a free agent.
Yo, how old is Jared Cook? Like 42? And he's still getting paid guap?
Greg Olsen?
No, Jared Cook. That dude old.
Jared Cook is 33.
I think he's like 33, right?
Yeah, that's like
33.
42. Yeah, like, yo, and he's getting paid. So that's my
his
point.
only total value on his contract was $15 million. That's it.
That's why I said George Kittle gets a 6-year deal, because he's 32 at that point. You get what I'm saying? He's 32. That's like, I know people think Mike is crazy. I just say stuff for fun, but there's a little bit of method to my madness sometimes. That's all. Now, Breezy, I know you said that you want to get back to something. I don't want you to forget it, and then I know Nick was saying something too.
I think the only leverage that his agent will have, though, in the contract negotiations will be the simple fact that George Kittle isn't your average tight end, and I think that is he's not putting up number one wide receiver numbers, but he's definitely putting up number one tight end numbers, and he's dipping into the wide receivers. Like, you got a tight end putting up 1,000 yards, man. Like,
in back-to-back seasons.
That's going to help his negotiation period from his agent side, because he's able to put up these numbers. So
it won't help his agent, because is Travis Kelce your average tight end?
No.
He's going to be making more than Kelce at $11 million a year.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, we're going to pay you like the best tight end in the league, and that doesn't take 14, 15, 16 million. That's all I'm saying.
On other news, real quick, I know I don't want to mention Dallas Cowboys, but they just signed Andy Dalton to a year deal.
Oh, they did.
Can they not get Dak Prescott signed? It said Cowboys are signing former Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton to a 1-year deal that includes $3 million guaranteed.
Wow.
You know what's crazy, man? I promise you guys, man. Someone asked me, maybe I saw it on Twitter, who was going to get signed first, Cam Newton or Andy Dalton? Never in a million years.
I don't want to have this conversation, bro.
Well, no. But there is a reason for it. because they can't get their hands on Cam to do a physical. You got to remember how he went out last year. There's injury involved.
But Andy Dalton was injured last year too.
Was he?
Yes, he was. He was injured, but here's what happened.
He didn't play against us.
But here's what happened with Andy. He was cleared to play toward the end of the season, and the coach kept him out.
Yeah, but he still had an injury last year, so that physical still means something.
But he was cleared to play.
Right, but if they give him the green light that he can get back on the field, that's
different. But Cam was cleared to play too.
No, he wasn't.
No, Cam wasn't cleared to play last year.
Towards the end of the season?
I don't think so. I can call my cousin. Oh, I don't want to do a phone a friend because he won't do it on the show, but I can call my cousin just to find out real quick.
I thought he was like at the end of the season.
Let me see.
And they decided to stay with Allen.
But then again, and you could be right, but then again, it could be the injuries. The injuries.
Hey, you're on the air right now. We're doing a live show. We just got a quick question for you.
And Andy Dalton did not play against the Niners.
Was Cam Newton
I know.
played at the end of the season last year?
He was on
IR. Yeah, so that's what we thought.
He never got cleared to play, though, right? That's what I'm saying.
Not in season, no.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, thanks, man.
All right.
Yep.
I could have swore that he got cleared and they just kept Kyle Allen playing.
Nah, he was never cleared to play. But I know Andy was, and then they stuck with the young gunner.
So it takes me back to my point about the physical, man. This quarantine thing is going to affect a couple of things, and we're seeing some of the. At least that's what I'm holding on to because I don't want to think of anything other than that.
I'm with you, Mike. I'm gonna go with you on that one.
Why can't you just think that he's Dookie?
No, because Cam Newton is one. He's definitely better than Andy Dalton,
and he's better than a lot of these quarterbacks in the NFL.
It depends on what you want.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No matter how you try to break it down, what aspect of football is Andy Dalton better than Cam Newton?
Bro, what happened when Cam stopped running the football? He started losing.
You haven't answered my question. What
happened when Cam got forced to just throw the football? They started losing. He got his ass beat up.
The year he was MVP, he threw the football a lot.
What happened after that?
The year he was in, my point is they made him run. But my point is
2 years now on a shoulder injury that he can't come back from.
But the year he was MVP, if you look up his passing stats, I think he led the league in passing, Nick. Like he was throwing a lot. After that, he went on this run spree. Like they started beating him up, like they weren't protecting him or whatever. And his offensive line was dookie. Like, let's talk about it. I mean, I know this is not the Carolina Panthers show, but if their fans want to chime in, let's go.
Right. You're not going to tell you cannot ever convince me that Cam Newton is worse than Andy Dalton.
Bro, he's only thrown for 4,000 yards one time in his career. Other than that, he hasn't touched 4,000 yards, and that was his rookie year in 2011.
What? So what? You're still not telling me what Andy Dalton does better than Cam Newton.
I think Andy Dalton has a better pocket presence and can stand in the pocket and throw better than Cam Newton if he's held upright. Bro, Cam Newton had it.
When has Cam Newton ever had an offensive
for 8 years?
When has he ever had an offensive? I don't want to do this.
What took him to the Super Bowl?
You tell me. Cam Newton took them to the Super Bowl.
By what? Not throwing the football.
Did you? Okay. All right.
Bro, what year did they go to the Super Bowl?
I don't know. Look it up. You're right there looking up his stats. You got stats right there.
2016, 2015, somewhere around there.
2015, 3,800 yards. 2016, 3,500 yards. Rushing. Let's see what his rushing was in 2015. 700 yards, 736.
How many passing yards?
2016, 359.
How many passing yards in 2015?
I just told you.
No, you said 16 and 17.
2015, 3,837.
How many touchdowns?
$35.
How many rushing touchdowns? Cam Newton was a monster that year.
He was, bro.
He was an absolute monster.
10 rushing touchdowns that year.
So he accounted for 45 touchdowns. You're trying to convince me that somehow Andy Dalton, bro, I'm not having this conversation. I'm done.
Bro, Cam is trash, bro.
Okay. Moving on. All right, so back to the 49er news, Joe. All right, so Yeah. What other rumors we got going on out there?
Cam is trash, bro.
Yo, I can't believe you said that, yo. All right, so man, I wonder how many. Hey, Mike, let's go down the list and talk about how many other former NFL MVPs are trash. Peyton Manning trash because he had a hell of a trash 2 seasons. His last season, right? Is he trash though? I'm just asking the question.
Peyton Manning can throw the football better than a lot of the quarterbacks.
I don't give a what he can do. I'm telling you what he couldn't do the last 2 seasons with Denver Broncos.
You're factoring in running. I'm talking about quarterbacking.
I'm not factoring in running. I never talked about Cam being a rusher. You mentioned Cam being a rusher. I said that Cam was able to throw the football a couple of those seasons. Like he had great 5 touchdowns. Like how is that not throwing? When you throw the football for 35 touchdowns, Nick, how is that not good? I don't understand that shit. Yo, I don't give a fuck about his tape. Show me.
Watch your language, bro.
Show me Andy. You've been cussing too. Show me Andy. You did curse. Go back and watch the show. Show me Andy Dalton's touchdowns. Now I want to know how many touchdowns he throws for, and how many yards he got.
So now we're basing off skill set, off throwing the football off of touchdowns. Okay, cool.
Oh my God! All right, so while Nick is looking up Andy Dalton's touchdown number, listen. All right, I don't even know.
I can't believe you guys don't agree that Cam Newton is overrated. He's trash.
I never wait. I never said he wasn't overrated.
I said he's not
better
trash
than Andy Dalton.
Bro,
I think
he's trash.
So trash means overrated. Trash means all those things. I thought trash was trash. Overrated means overrated. I thought it was 2 different things.
Right, because you can have a good player who is overrated because their team is the best, DeForest Buckner. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have a player that's overrated and they can still be a good player. That's all.
2015, Andy Dalton threw for 25 touchdowns. He's thrown for 204 in his career.
That's way more.
Was 25 touchdowns his career high in his season? With AJ Green there the entire time?
Who was Cam Newton's wide receiver? Steve Smith?
Oh, that year he won the MVP? It was Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah. Who Ted Ginn Jr. got a new team too. I think he's what team did he go to? He did. He's not a Saint anymore.
Yeah, he just got signed somewhere.
Bears, maybe?
There it is. Battle Royale. You got to put the E at the end. You got to put Battle Royale. You got to put the E at the end. All right. So, but nah, man, look, it's all good. This is what passion does, man. This is I love it. That's what we all about here, man. Man. No
Cam Newton's year, he had 35 touchdowns. Other than that, he didn't even touch 25 the rest of his career.
But he gives you.
And Andy Dalton had like 6 with 25 plus touchdowns.
Cam gives you 10 on the ground almost every year. Nick.
But I'm talking about quarterbacking.
I don't care. He's a quarterback.
I'm talking about being a quarterback, not running.
He's a quarterback, and he accounts for 30 touchdowns a year consistently.
But bro, that neglects your stats. I'm talking about throwing football, throwing the touchdown.
Do we fault
Andy Dalton has more career thrown touchdowns than Cam Newton. Point blank. It's the point blank. You said if somebody throws for 35 touchdowns, he threw for 1 time in his career for 35. Didn't touch 25 the rest of his career.
Do we fault Russell Wilson for being able to scramble and run?
Bro, but I'm telling you that is what Cam Newton is.
How is it different?
Andy Dalton will fit in an offense where he can throw the football. Cam Newton, you take away from his running, he's nothing. He's trash.
How is it different is what I'm asking you from Russell Wilson. That's what I'm asking you.
Bro, we're not comparing Russell Wilson and Cam Newton right now. So stop throwing other guys at me. We're comparing Andy Dalton.
I have to get you to understand my point. You have to. Andy Dalton has consistently had AJ Green, arguably one of the best receivers during his time in the NFL. Cam Newton has never had anybody.
Tom Brady had shit receivers his entire career.
That's not
what
true.
Does it matter?
That's a
Nick
big,
just cursed. He just said a bad word. And
yeah, but I didn't say F. I didn't say F.
You didn't say me. You said stop cursing. I just said that we said both curse words. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
dude, all love, man.
My
point being is what?
You got guys asking you questions though. Steve Young sucked. Michael Vick sucked. These are all rushing quarterbacks that also
but they're guys that could throw the football also. They just utilize getting out of the pocket and run. Cam Newton in his year took basically that offense and ran all over everybody. That's all he did.
Okay.
That's all he did.
Okay. That's cool. I'm cool with it. Man, let's keep going on.
Okay, so is he a Hall of Fame quarterback? Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback?
I guess Andy Dalton is. No,
I didn't say Andy Dalton.
We should put Andy Dalton in
But
there.
people are trying to compare Steve Young and other guys. They're Hall of Fame quarterbacks. They did it both ways.
No, he said Michael Vick. He said Michael Vick.
Michael Vick will be in the Hall of Fame.
No,
he's not going to get in.
No,
there,
he won't.
Bro.
Michael Vick's probably got way higher career numbers than Cam Newton.
Michael Vick will get close to a Hall of Fame ballot.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
Well, but why though? Because of issues off the field.
Yeah, the issues.
Not because of his play.
He's not going to get there though. That's my point.
But not because of his play.
That's my point. Is Randall Cunningham in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Yeah, all right.
Is Donovan McNabb in the Hall of Fame?
No.
So no. Only running quarterback in the Hall of Fame is Steve Young, and
he wasn't a running quarterback. He was a scrambling quarterback.
Quarterback. And probably some of the others, the guys before.
There's a big difference.
Which is what Russell Wilson does. He's a scrambler too, right? I guess that's how we could classify him.
Russell Wilson's not. Yeah, he's a scrambling quarterback. He just scrambles for his life.
I had another. Damn it. Let me see if I can find my notes. I had another note for.
This is exactly what I was trying to say right here. What Nick is saying is that if Cam goes to a team where they won't let him run, he's buns. But Dalton can go to any team because he's a natural passer. And that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Andy Dalton won't start one game for no team unless somebody get injured. That boy is garbage. He's always been garbage.
He's consistently had a better offensive line and
better
weapons. Receivers than Cam Newton has. Like, we can't sit here and pretend like we're ignoring. Like, I just don't understand how we can sit here and look at, oh, well, let's just find one category and do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. If we have never seen Cam Newton with an offensive line ever. We've never seen him with weapons ever.
I just don't understand how. I mean, I guess I get what you're saying, Nick. I do. So don't think I'm not understanding or comprehending what you're saying. I just think that Cam. I would like to see Cam with a O line and have to be a pocket quarterback. Like, I would like to see him have to be. Maybe he can't. Maybe that's just not has been his game plan his whole football collegiate career, because he was always bigger, he was faster, he was stronger, and he could just run over cats in Auburn, right? And where did he go before Auburn? He went to a junior college before that, right? So, like, that's what he did, like, his whole career. He came to the NFL. Guess what? He was still bigger than linebackers. So they utilized his skill set, but I did see him throw. I did see him. I mean, he had a season, you said, one season where he threw for over 35 touchdowns, and then the rest was all higher rushing touchdowns. I got you. That's your argument. I can rock with that, bro. I just don't think that Andy Dalton's better overall.
The stats prove it. So I don't know.
You told me not to look at the stats. You told me to look at.
No, you guys were comparing stats and said, "Well, go look up Andy Dalton's touchdown." So I did, and his stats.
No, I wanted to know for that 1 year, but all his stats were all his years, he's consistently at 25 touchdowns, you said?
Yeah.
For 6 seasons, consistently 25? Cool. I mean, I'm just saying, Cam Newton just didn't have the same setup. Like, it's hard to compare when they don't have the exact same things. You know, everybody's not going to be your Tom Brady's or your Patrick Mahomes or your Aaron Rodgers or your Drew Brees and can make other guys look amazing. Everybody doesn't have that gift. Everybody just doesn't have that. Not all quarterbacks. Let's talk a little bit about the Alex Smith bio. What is it? The junk that came on E60 or whatever. I started watching it, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch like the clips of it or like.
I want to watch this so bad, but I can't look at his leg, bro.
Okay, so they did a really great job. Shout out to the producers of the show. They did a really great job. I mean, it was disgusting parts. For what I saw, I got about like 20 minutes into it, 25 minutes. And then I just needed to put on pause because I just didn't have my undivided attention. I had my son running around, my wife asking questions about what happened. And I'm just like, God dang it, I'm trying to watch the show. So I just put it on pause. But dude, those producers rocked it. And I didn't know he had 17 surgeries on the same leg, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was bad.
17 though. Like, that's 7. Can you imagine going under the knife 17 times? And he almost died, yo. They talked about amputating his leg. And I didn't even know Nick Saban was the coach for Utah back then. Like, Urban Meyer was the coach. Was the coach for Utah. Like, no wonder we drafted him. Like, he came from Urban Meyer, Urban Meyer program. Look, man, I encourage everybody to go out and watch it, man. Like, I don't care what we think, man. Alex Smith will always be a 49er in my book, yo. He caught the bad end of the short end of the stick each and every time. Try not to curse anymore because I used all my curse words. But he caught the short end of the stick, man. And it wasn't until Harbaugh came in, man, and really, like, allowed him to be a quarterback, yo. Allowed him to be who he was, to where he finally started shining. Then he ended up getting hurt again. And he ended up getting traded. The story sucks, but he's always going to be a 49er, man. Nick, did you see it? Did you guys catch a glimpse of it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the thing that I took most from it is just how positive this dude stayed.
Oh God.
You know, I just complained B and C about having to have 2 shoulder surgeries, and it wasn't even like I had an infection. Like, this guy's leg literally traveled to like one of the top doctors for military people, you know, sitting down and talking with these people about amputating his leg. And he's like, these people acted like it was nothing. You know what I mean? So it was just, you know, but the one thing that caught me is when he said, there's so many people in this world that would take my place right now. And it just hit me like, this is where a guy is literally laying on a bed, is completely fine, and the next morning is about to die and has to go through procedure. It said what did it say, like 257 weeks or something like that? I forget what it was.
Yeah, Nick.
Or 272 days, something like that. But I mean, and then his wife, like what she had to go through. She's like, you can't let me leave here without him. Like, just the stuff that was in there. Like, I don't care what you have to do. If you have to cut off and she literally asked the team doctor, the lady, what would you do if it was your leg? And she's like, I'd amputate it. She's like, I'd take it off. And she's like, well, you guys got to do what you got to do, but I'm not leaving here without my husband.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, could you imagine being in that point of you know, in a relationship and, you know, having to make that decision for your significant other, like take their leg or take their arm or, you know, do whatever it is to save their life, right?
He's about to die.
And he just took it like a champ, man. He literally took it like a champ. And just the way that he proceeded through everything and to where he's at now is just, you know, a lot of people would have just rolled over and just like whatever, you know, like, but man, I got to give it to him, man. He definitely inspired the hell out of me in some aspects, as in, you know, things can always be worse. And even though he was in one of the worst positions in his life, he still thought things could always be worse. And he just fought through.
Yeah,
and
man.
that's his best attribute on and off the field. He is mentally Niner. Are you kidding me?
The way
he is mentally strong. He is one of the toughest guys mentally you will ever see play this game. That's all I got. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on the entire show and all that stuff, but he is great, man.
Bro, you got it.
Is awesome.
You got to watch it, man.
Like, yeah, it's really good, Mike. Like, I'm telling you, the producers, man, them ESPN producers be on point. When they got to do those movies and them documentaries, man, them joints be dope, man. So salute to Alex Smith. I'm glad he's doing better, right? Like, that's the upside to everything, you know what I'm saying? And this guy's determined to play football again. Like he his goal was like, nah, Doc, I'm gonna play again. Like that's what I'm gonna do, yo. I mean, just if I could show you his leg, if this is his normal leg, so just look at my hands. Thank you. It was elephantitis, bro. With screws and a bracket. And
yeah, he had 3 plates, I think.
What the hell was that? I know he was hurting.
Yeah, 3 plates. 3 plates.
The one clip that I saw, they were talking about how they had to take stuff from the thigh and put it down, and the
Well, it's skin grafts. Yeah, they had to take the skin because the skin basically. So it was kind of. I mean, obviously, it wasn't exactly like that, but like a spider bite. If you think about a spider bite, right? Like a recluse or a black widow. If you don't get that taken care of, it actually kills the skin, and it's an infection because the venom in the spider goes around and kills the skin, and it blackens it, and it just whatever. So the same thing with an infection. If you get an infection inside out, now this also ate away at his muscles in his leg. So, the infection ate away, and it was like overnight. It was just bang. It was overnight. Everything looked good after the surgery. The next morning he was getting like, sepsis, like really light skin, pale, had a high fever, like 105. And then the next day they checked it, that day they checked his leg, everything looked good. But then the next morning he woke up and it was completely black.
Oh my God.
So like, that's how fast it happened. So it was basically, it was a bacteria, and that's what it was. The bacteria just ate from inside out. So, it had to replace a lot, man. I didn't think, he still in the end of that, he was still wearing that sleeve.
Yeah.
That sleeve on his leg. So I don't know if that's something that he's going to have to wear. And you could still see it was like, it still looked deformed because they took his thigh muscle, like some of his thigh muscle, to build up the other muscle in his body. So, man, kudos to him, man, for everything that he went through.
Absolutely, man.
Kudos to his doctors.
Prayers up. He's still during the recovery and all that stuff, right? From my understanding. So let's see how he ends up. There was something else I wanted to talk about. I got two other things here. I don't know if we have time to get to it. You guys let me know when you guys are ready to get out of here. But there was an article Nick was talking about from Mayoko that talked about the Niners' 10 guys that they signed. Tom Palacero had a clip on Twitter along with what's the dude's name with the ears? Andrew Siciliano and somebody else.
That's fucked up.
No, it's not. It's his trademark. It's what he does. But he was talking about this signing bonus for Rudder and things like that. So, Nick, do you have that information pulled up over there? Let's talk about this article and what happened with the Niners finally signing their 10th and final guy, who was the running back that we were all waiting for, Salvon Ahmed, apparently.
It's Salvon.
Oh, the L is silent, and then we add a sound that's not in the last name too. Whatever y'all say, bro. Hey,
so it is Ahmed.
Yeah, it's Ahmed.
Okay.
So basically the breakdown was done by Matt Mayoko, like you said, Mike, and the guy that got the highest amount guarantee was $105,000, and that was defensive lineman Darian Daniels out of Nebraska. And he basically says, we lean heavily on what the 49ers tell us, and the 49ers tell us that they think highly of Nebraska defensive lineman Darian Daniels, based on the $105,000 guarantee that the club gave him. That figure essentially guarantees Daniels will be, at worst, on the practice squad. At worst.
That's a bad message right there, because you can't guarantee that. In order to get to the practice squad, you got to be cut. Anybody can come and pick you up.
Right. But he's saying for us in
worst
general.
Worst case scenario.
Us in general. So
let's start right there and talk about that one. Let's talk about that one.
Right. So yeah, let's do this break step by step. And
Darian Daniels, defensive tackle out of Nebraska. He's not Khalil Davis. I guess he's the other guy. But he got guaranteed. I mean, it's not guaranteed. He got the highest paid contract for the undrafted free rookies, right? Free agents.
Yep.
I wonder why. Let's talk about why we think this is why do we think we gave him the most out of all those guys? Like, is he the most valuable? What are we thinking here? Like, is this saying that someone might not be ready on the defensive line coming on return? Like, what are we talking about, guys? Come on.
It tells me that the 49ers know that in the absence of DeForest Buckner, we're going to need some depth and healthy rotation there. That's what it tells me. How many defensive linemen did they draft in this draft? Just the one, right? Just Kinlaw?
Kinlaw and yeah, just Kinlaw.
So it was just Kinlaw, right? So I mean, 5 picks in the draft, and that's what ends up happening. So I think if he's the guy that you remember, when we were talking about this, I said when the numbers for the guarantees come out, that's going to tell the whole story. That's going to let you know the priority that they put on these guys. So I wanted to. I think that it says that the Niners are looking for at least some depth and rotational guys. I was watching the last Seahawks game just this morning, and I was looking at Zettel out there. They don't want to do that again.
But they only had to do that. Like, they had to do that.
Right.
I think this here is a Sheldon Day replacement.
Okay.
That's what I actually think.
But what about the guys we already have, Nick? That's my question. Like,
but we don't have another true nose tackle.
Nose tackle.
We don't have another guy who's like a true nose tackle after Sheldon Day. Because DJ Jones plays there, but he's better off at defensive tackle.
Okay.
So, you're going to have, he may play there, DJ Jones. And DJ Jones' contract is up next year, I believe. We haven't done defensive lineman breakdown yet. But, DJ Jones is going to be that nose tackle type defensive tackle position. I think DJ Jones actually starts the year off at defensive tackle, and Kinlaw works his way in.
Okay.
To that position, and then possibly
you don't think the first round draft pick for the San Francisco 49ers starts?
I think it's on a rotational basis. I don't think it's going to be a 3-down player right away.
Interesting.
We'll
They draft this guy at 4. They drafted him at 14. You don't think he starts? Okay.
Well, starting and playing is two different things. He may be out there for the first defensive snap, but I think they're going to rotate him.
Okay.
He's anybody on this team is going to be a rotational player.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be a DeForest Buckner where he's out there 3 straight downs. Like, I think everybody on this line, other than Bosa probably, and even Bosa will probably, with Ronald Blair healthy, depending on the scheme we're in, I don't know.
So he starts and he's killing out there, and they take him off.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a rotational guy.
It's not just a matter of them taking him off. It's going to depend on how he does on passing downs, right? They like this big body in there. They know how he's going to play against the run. If he can somehow develop a couple of more moves where he can be effective on passing downs, then he could be that 3-down guy that's in there all the time, getting 85% plus of the snaps like DeForest Buckner was. But if he can't develop in year one,
right,
and they'll work on him, and they'll tweak some things about his game and try to get him to that level. When you pick a guy that high, that's what you're looking for. Doesn't mean that he's going to be there. You got to remember that he's got the knee issue also, and stuff like that. So you have to keep all that in mind.
You got to also remember we drafted a defensive lineman at 3rd overall, and he didn't start.
Well, that's
it doesn't matter. It's still, we can't say just because where we drafted him, he's going to be a starter. So I think he starts the year, but I still think this whole defensive line, where that friggin' feather came from, it's like caught me right on my nose.
You got some pillows in there or something.
Yeah, I don't think he. I think this whole defensive line is a rotational line, and that's what Chris Kocurek does is he rotates to keep fresh. So, I'm not saying that he's not going to get 12 snaps a game. I'm not saying that. I'm just, to me, starting is you're going to be the first player out there, and then you're considered the starter in the starting lineup. But your next play or the next way you utilize yourself or somebody could be totally different. So, but I do think that this is a Sheldon Day guy. That's what I personally think. But
okay.
What else is in that article? Were there any other players mentioned in that article?
Yeah, all of them.
All right, so let's go through these guys one by one. I have a little clip here that I will play when we get to Rudder, but we'll keep it moving in whatever order you got over there.
Chris Fink.
Wait, before you say this, because I want you guys to think about this also before I present it. I'm going to ask you guys the top 5 49er wide receivers in your opinion.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Oh, okay, fine. All right. Oh, it fits. It fits for tomorrow. That's fine. All right, go ahead.
Notre Dame slot receiver Chris Fink was a priority undrafted target of the 49ers who awarded him $95,000 in guaranteed money. Fink can be expected to secure a spot on the practice squad, but he has a chance to place himself into solid position for a roster spot if Trent Taylor has any kind of setbacks from his return foot injuries and surgeries that kept him out the entire 2019 season. Taylor is the team's best slot receiver. Fink might be the next best player cut out for the role in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Fink also brings with him the added dimension of being a steady performer in the return game.
Hey, Nick, is this the order that you're reading them in? Is that the amount that they're getting paid, like in that order? Okay.
Yep.
So what was his? I missed it. I'm sorry. I was listening.
95,000.
Woo! All right. So let's talk about it, man. So we don't know Trent Taylor's status. I did hear John Lynch on a podcast the other day talk about how Trent's been sending him videos, and he said he looks really good. Like he looks really good in training. But again, that's personal training and things like that. But where do we see this guy?
I mean, I think it's exactly what it is. Go ahead, Mike. You go first.
I think that this, I don't know. I don't know how to put a finger on it because we have so many guys that line up in the slot right now. We have guys coming off of IR that we want to see. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not too excited about this guy. I've tried to hype myself up. I hear everybody saying he's the Trent Taylor replacement and all that, but I can't say that I see it yet. I understand the money that he was given, and I understand that this is, again, that's what's going to tell you the message of how the 49ers view this guy. But when it all comes down to it, I mean, look, we talked about this a couple of shows ago where they gave KD Cannon the most of any undrafted guy in the league, and he didn't make it all the way through training camp.
Correct.
They were saying that he felt like, I don't need to work on this. I don't need to work on that. He didn't have the attitude that they wanted him to have, and he was gone. So I can't sit here and say just because of the money that he's going to get it. The money says they want him to earn it. They want him to be here. But I got to see this guy in this system when he has an option route. When the play breaks down, what does he do? Is he one of those guys that just stand still, or does he do like Bourne and keep moving and waving his quarterback there? Hey, I'm open when a play breaks down. So it's more to it than just coming out there and I'm a good slot guy. We got to see more from it. That's all. How tall is Fink? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
It doesn't know. I think I'll look it up.
Trent Taylor is what, 5'9"?
No, he's like 5'10".
Okay. So,
I think.
The only reason I'm asking is because
he's 5'9".
He's who's 5'9"? Trent Taylor?
Chris
Fink, 5'9", 184 pounds.
And I think honestly, like it's the position. I'm gonna say it. He's white, and the comparable size, and I think that's why people say automatically, boom, Trent Taylor replacement. Trent Taylor replacement. No one's saying he's here to take over for Bourne, and Bourne plays in the slot also.
Or Richie James.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I can't sit here and just say that he's gonna come in here and take Trent Taylor's spot, because if Trent Taylor comes back and he's healthy and he's gonna be on the team, and Chris Fink comes out and balls out, then obviously he's not here to replace Trent Taylor. If Trent Taylor makes the roster, then that doesn't mean Fink can't make the roster, is my point.
Yeah.
So I can't just say he's here to be that replacement guy.
But your question is, what else can he do other than be a slot receiver, right? That's what you're asking.
I mean,
Well,
can
he does
improvise.
He does do things in the return game.
Okay.
Chris Fink does.
And this is what we need to know, because you have other guys that return the ball, right? You have Richie James Jr. We'll talk about these receivers in tomorrow's show, man. I'm excited. All right, let's go to the next guy.
The next guy is Mike's dude, 90,000 guaranteed, JaMycal Hasty.
Okay. We talked about him.
Matt Mayoko said that he. So this is kind of interesting. This is probably, like I said, why Mike liked him. I said this exactly the other night too.
Okay. Baylor
running back JaMycal Hasty has a very specific value to the 49ers. The offense did not have a true third down back last season. Hasty 5'8", 205, exclusively a third down back. The 49ers awarded Hasty a 90,000 guarantee, which proves the organization believes he has a chance too. And then it just talks about Matt Breida trade. McKinnon, but he says Hasty has a good route running and pass catching skills. He figures to be in direct competition with McKinnon for a spot. Hasty has added value of being projected top contributor on special teams too.
So this is it, man. This is the battle. I remember I told you that there was going to be a battle for each position coming this training camp. And here's Jerick McKinnon's battle. Jerick McKinnon came back and said he'll play for peanuts. They went and signed the guy for peanuts, and one of these guys is going to be playing for peanuts. Now, I could see the team moving on from McKinnon if this kid McCasey comes in here and camp and just outshines a guy who's older than him. The only thing he would be lacking is experience, correct? I could see it happening. I could see why Mike is high. We did not have a typical third down back. You said it, Nick. What the hell would this offense look like with a third down back? Can you just paint a picture?
Well, I don't really technically think I personally don't think we need a third down back. Our guys can run and catch the football. I think, what I think that was referring to basically, and I'm not Matt Mayogo, but what I took from it is that short yardage guy that, he's going to pound. He's 5'8", but he's 205 and he runs like a bowling ball. Like he's going to, try to knock you over and get those extra yards up in the front. So that's what I kind of take from it. I don't think we technically need a third down back because, our backs can all run the football. They all have speed. They can all get outside. They can run the football and catch the football. So I don't think it's technically a third down back, but I think more of a short yardage back is what he was trying to refer to.
I'm going to disagree with you there, and not just for fun, but because I do think we need a third down back. And I'm going to tell you why. That Saints game in particular, we're trailing, right? 3rd and 2. Jimmy drops back, and nothing happened. And then we end up in that 4th and 2. It was 2 passes in a row. 2 passes in a row, and a must-convert situation. If you give a guy like this guy, and I'm going to compare him to Tolbert. I don't care what anybody says. I'm comparing him to Mike Tolbert, okay? If you have that guy, 2 chances at that, and this is why I think it's important. Nick, you were absolutely right what you said. We have backs who can catch, they can get outside and all that stuff. But getting outside, you have to cover a lot more ground. You're going to run 17 yards just to try to get 2 because you're going outside the tackles and stuff like, you get what I'm saying, right? Where if they snap the ball, it's easier for the center to push his guy to the left and the guard to push his guy to the right and try to create a small crease. And if you got that bowling ball guy that can go in there and just initiate contact and fall forward, it's a value there. So instead of it being 2 passing plays, we can, hey, look, we're going to pound this thing on the first time and see if we get it. If we don't, now it's 4th and 1 as opposed to 4th and 2. We can do a quarterback sneak. There's definitely a value to a short yardage back. So I don't want to diminish a role like that and say we don't need it. It's one thing to say we were successful without it. It's another to say we don't need it. We absolutely
but I don't think we need that. Like I said, I wasn't talking about short yardage. I was talking about a third down back, like just a guy who comes in on third downs, and no matter what the yard or distance is. So, that's what I was saying, as in I have faith in whoever's on the football field on third down right now. No matter what, if it's 6 yards, I have faith in it. And it's just because I have faith in the offense. It's not really a matter of running backs. But I do think there's times, but, I also believe in Jeff Wilson Jr. for that short yardage back. So, where are we losing right here?
I guess I get that we had success production when it came to the third down plays that we ran, whether it was 3rd and long, 3rd and extra long, 3rd and short, 3rd and goal. I guess you could say we've had success each and every time, but I just think having an elusive back that you have to worry about catching and running at the same time. This is what Jerick McKinnon brings to the table. He's a dangerous pass catching back out of the backfield. So if they do have to run that 17-yard out to get those 2 yards, and there's one guy on him and he catches the ball, that one guy misses. That's good luck trying to stop him. I think this is what Jermichael Hasty brings along with the bowling ball aspect, the 3rd and short, that too. I think he is a good pass catching back to be elusive, to break those things. And I think that's why he is the Jerick McKinnon guy that he's going to go up against in camp and compete for a spot. I think that's the guy. Matt Miyoko knocked it on the head. I think that's the guy who he should be competing against.
Yeah.
Who you got next?
Next is cornerback DeMarcus Acey. 60,000. Says that we did not select a cornerback in the draft. They reached an agreement to sign Missouri cornerback DeMarcus Acey, 6 foot 195. as an undrafted rookie with a guarantee of $60,000. That puts him in a solid position to at least open the season on practice squad.
Did you say 50 or 60?
60. If AC proves to be close to any of the team's returning veteran cornerbacks, he stands a good chance of being with the club at the outset of the regular season. Richard Sherman, Nicola Witherspoon, Jason Verrett, Dante Johnson are set for unrestricted free agency after the season. Emmanuel Mosley is scheduled to be a restricted free agent. Cornerback was the only one of the 49ers' significant needs the teams did not address in the draft. That's a huge advantage for AC in this quest to win a roster spot.
I think this kid somehow, some way finds his way on this team, man. He's not going to start. He's not going to, whatever. But I think if his work ethic is as good as I think it is, and his skill set is as good as I think, I've seen it on tape. Not sure why he didn't get drafted. Don't really care. But my point is, if this kid goes out and balls out, I just think he finds a way. Whether, like you said, Nick, if it's on the practice squad or not, this is one of those guys the 49ers better not let go. This better not be their Caden Smith of 2020. You get what I'm saying? Find a way to dress this kid, bring him on that team. I don't care if he plays or not. You don't want to lose a guy like this because he is the prototypical cornerback in Salah's defense. He's a guy that you want learning under this regiment. He's a guy you want in the system for that, So I think they figure him out. I think they find a way to get this kid on this squad some way, somehow.
He ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna make the squad, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. And I wish I did, because we talked about how, they ignored the position and all that stuff, but I just, we'll have, obviously we'll see what happens. And it's easy to say for any of these guys, if they ball out, they're going to make the squad. I mean, that's what football is about, right? If any position of anybody, I don't care if you're a kicker, punter, long snapper, if you ball out, you're going to make the team, right? Okay. But what did the tape say? What did I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. I know he's got the size. He's the frame that they want in this style of defense. I will give you guys that. But there are a ton of guys with the size that just don't make it in the NFL. They just don't. And for whatever reason, this guy went undrafted. It wasn't just the Niners that passed on this guy. It was all 32 teams for all 7 rounds, 280 plus picks, undrafted.
Yeah, but there's also a reason, Mike. They were able. There was also a reason why.
But we can't. I mean, I agree with you, Wayne. Like, Matt Breida was undrafted. Like, these guys go missed. You know what I mean? There's a ton of guys that are in the Hall of Fame that were undrafted guys. So, there's a lot of talent. It's just a matter of the way your scouts work. Like, your scouts are smart and say, you know what? Nobody else is going to see these traits from him or see what we like in him and the way he fits our system until he gets, and we're going to take them as undrafted guys. And I think, that's where it's battle of the scouts, is who sees more potential and then brings it to the coaches, and the coaches say, you know what, you're right. We see this potential in them.
But they didn't see that potential in them.
But they did.
They did.
They didn't see the potential in them because they would have drafted him.
But they could, but you don't know that. They could say this is the guy that we want as an undrafted guy.
They left it up to fate. If another team offered him $70,000 as opposed to the 60, he wouldn't be here right now. That's my point. You took a shot on nobody wanting this guy. And this goes for all undrafted free agents. You're absolutely right. That Matt Breida example was really good because he was a UDFA that came in here and balled out, right? Like, I completely understand what you're saying. But to say that they saw something that nobody else saw, you can say that with George Kittle, right? Because George Kittle didn't have the pass catching stats and all that stuff, but they felt like they could get something out of him, right? I get that there, right? They took a shot on him. I remember when Kittle got drafted, it was like, who the hell is this guy? This is who we're drafting. It happened when we took the tight end this year. It was like, this guy has no pass catches. What are they doing with this guy, right? But George Kittle tested off the charts. You can't even say that with AC. You can't even apply that part.
But you just totally skipped over what I said. Like, you totally skipped over what I said.
He got paid for
it. Yeah, that's my friend right there. I just radioed him, told him to go in your earlobe.
He's like, Ant-Man, Wasp Man, thing, Mike. Now,
this is the bad thing about wearing white at night. You know, the bugs are attracted to light. They tagging my ass up, man.
See,
I'm about
Nick?
to turn the brightness up on my screen, send them that way, man. I got to start smoking more, keep the bugs away.
Look, so what I'm trying to say is that they felt that the positions that they wanted to go after, they drafted. They still seen this guy to take him undrafted, and this team has hit on a lot of good players as undrafted guys.
Correct.
And
I mean, you got Mosley, you got
Emmanuel. Yeah, that's 4 guys on 11 starters.
That's one guy a year. That's not a lot.
I mean, think about guys that are on other teams that are balling that came.
Bro, we just got a 5th round pick for an undrafted guy. Like,
I understand what it can turn into.
I think that with Nick, and correct me if I'm wrong, like Nick said it, he hit the nail on the head. He said, "Yo, the scouts went to work. Like this is where your scouts come in and they earn their stripes." Yo, Kyle, yo, John, I think there's a guy that we don't have to draft because I don't think anybody's looking at him. But check this guy out. Check these guys out. Check this guy out. Check this guy. Because we could be saying the same and applying the same logic, Mike, for your boy Hasty, for Ahmed, for all the guys, right? We could say that, but there's something that whether they have to take a chance or not. I mean, you're taking a chance on drafting a player as well, Mike. They might not pan out. You spent the 1st round pick on them, correct?
All right. So hear me out here. Let's play this game, okay? Watch this. Now, last year was a really good year. Okay, I'm going to tell you all the undrafted guys from last year's draft class. Okay, Cameron Glenn, the safety from Wake Forest, Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, the safety from Arizona, Aziz Al-Shaair, the linebacker from Florida Atlantic, Kevin Givens from Penn State. Now, never mind, I won't do that right now. Jamil Garcia Williams, defensive end from UAB, Ross Reynolds. Did he make?
I thought he played, didn't he? And then they put him on a squad or something. And they cut him.
I can't remember.
Ross Reynolds.
Ross Reynolds.
Ross Reynolds. I think he did play in a game actually.
Yeah.
He's the offensive guard. Did they move him to tight end or something? I feel like I saw him as a tight end though. I don't know. But I remember his name. I'm not quite sure. I'll give you guys credit for that. Tyree Mayfield from Wyoming and Sean Poindexter. Now he stuck around on the practice squad all year long, and I think he actually played in the game. And then there was Malik Henry from West Georgia. I'm sorry. And then one more, Wilton Spate from UCLA. Okay, that was last year. But if you look at it from 2018 also, I'm going to give you that class also, right? UDFA 49ers. Here we go, April 30th. All right, so in 2018, excuse me, it's loading, so you guys got to bear with me. All right, here we go.
Come on, Nighthawk.
Jack Hannigan, quarterback from Dartmouth.
Dartmouth.
Jaquan Gardner, the running back. Shout out to him. Thanks for showing up. Coleman Shelton, center from Washington. Niall Scott from Frostburg State. Terrell Williams, safety from Houston. Stephen Dunbar, wide receiver from Houston. Tavares McFadden. He didn't make the roster, did he? I'm thinking of the other McFadden.
Niles Harris played too.
No, Niall Scott.
I mean, yeah, didn't Niles Scott? He was an offensive lineman, right?
No, defensive tackle.
I don't remember.
Oh,
What
was it?
Maybe
What was the offensive lineman we had? Niles, wasn't his name Niles?
I remember a Niles too, so maybe I'll give you that one, but that's one so far. Terrell Williams, safety from Houston. Stephen Dunbar, wide receiver. Tavares McFadden, corner. Patrick Chowda, Alan Knott, Connor Wentz, tight end. Andrew Marshall, offensive lineman. Damn, this is a long list.
Okay, Mike. I got you. So to put
Deontez Alexander, Jamar McGloster, Jeffrey Wilson, that's my boy. Ross Dwelly.
I don't like calling him Jeffrey.
That's 2 in a row. Corey Griffin
right.
and Emmanuel Mosley. So you got
That's
3 out of that class that stuck around, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in order to stick around, it has to be what I'm seeing from this list is that they're all positions that we were super thin at. Super thin. We're not thin at corner. We're just not. I know that these guys aren't under contract long term. We're not thin at corner by any stretch of the imagination. So much so that there's a battle for corner number 2.
I like this, Mike. This is good. This is really good.
It's one thing to say, oh, they saw something, but you got to get the 90 somehow. So take a flyer on some of these guys, and then all right, we'll see you guys later. You take your $270-something signing bonus and have fun. Take your family out to dinner.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying, but what I'm trying to say is that these guys have had really good luck in their undrafted class. If you get 3 out of 10, that's really good percentage.
Okay, but let me ask you this: let's use Jeff Wilson Jr. because you guys know I loved him in preseason. I was going apeshit for this dude, right? But that exact season, what happened? The final practice before week 1,
Jerick McKinnon got hurt,
and then Wilson makes the roster. I just
he didn't make the roster. He was put on the practice squad.
Yeah, they cut him and then they signed him to the practice squad, right?
Right.
And he got elevated after McKinnon went down. My point though is that these guys suddenly get in because of injuries.
And
that's what ends up happening. A lot of these positions that I named, we were super thin at. There was injuries during the preseason and all that stuff, and then boom, they stick to the roster. I can't sit here and say that I see something in AC that's going to make him make this roster because we have a lot of depth. I know people hate Dante Johnson. He's the low man on the totem pole right now, but he balled out in preseason. AC has to beat him.
Right. That's my point. And it's possible, right? That's why I said if these guys could come in and ball out and beat the bottom of the totem pole to the guys that are already signed to the roster, then they have a chance, right? Other than that, it's a thinner chance, right? It's an injury, the right time, right place, best case scenario. Like, I like the way that you read the list because I'm sitting here saying, damn, it's like at least, I don't know, 7 of these 3 names, 10 names you mentioned on both lists, right? So this year I'm probably paying attention more to the undrafted free agents. But I think that every time they have to select undrafted free agents, it's not just a random thing. Like, I think they go out and select guys that they think are going to come in. At least that's what I'm seeing from this particular list, Mike and Nick. I feel like they're going out picking guys that's going to come in and be a challenge to guys that got a spot.
Yeah, and so let's finish this. I'm sorry, go ahead, Nick.
I just think this team, all their developmental players come from the defensive back position and running backs.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like, other than Richard Sherman and obviously Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tartt, because they were already here, all their other developmental pieces came either from really high in the draft or undrafted guys. So it's like you get the guy that you want, like, you know, in second or third, whatever it is, Akello Witherspoon, wherever, and then everybody else has been undrafted. So I think they look at their developmental pieces as the running back and the defensive back positions. And if you really think about it, that's how it's been. The only person that we went out and got was Jerick McKinnon for running back and Tevin Coleman, obviously now. But I think Tevin Coleman was more of a shit, we need somebody because of injuries, and we go out and get somebody who knows the system that can fill right in. But other than that, Jeff Wilson Jr., Matt Breida, other than
Kendrick Bourne's one of them. You know, like that's what I'm saying. But
yeah, Kendrick Bourne.
Who were the Niners wide receivers the year Kendrick Bourne made the roster? You get what I'm saying?
So I do.
At the end of this list, I want you to keep going with your list, and we're going to go through it. And then let's double up and just look at the positions and say, all right, are we thin there? Do we have an opportunity there? And see which ones we think can make it.
Okay.
I think that'll be fun at the end of it, right?
But yeah, but you also got to look at it this way, Mike. You say we're not thin right now, but right? So yeah, Dante Johnson was healthy, but Jason Verrett wasn't. Richard Sherman's getting older. Akello Witherspoon is up in the air on this team, like, as of right now, like from what we seen last year, you know, from the coach's perspective. I'm not saying as the player. Emmanuel Mosley was another guy. And then all these guys are free agents next year. So we are kind of thin at it, but we're just not thin at it right at this moment. But we don't know what's going to happen with Jason Verrett. And he could easily come in here and challenge Jason Verrett and take Jason Verrett's spot.
No. See, and that's where I disagree. I was just going to get to that. I'm glad you stopped on him, because if Jason Verrett is healthy, they love him because he didn't show anything all preseason. And what happened as soon as we lost the corner in that Steelers game? They put him in. and he got burned. They were like, yeah, never mind. I was playing. Can we get a mulligan on that? I take that back. Never mind. 2 plays back to back, touchdown. All right, and he didn't touch the field anymore all season. What? So,
well, he also re-injured himself.
Supposedly, right? I get it.
Well, I mean, he went to the IR, so
right.
I mean, we don't technically know,
but barring injury, and that's a big thing, because if Jason Verrett is healthy, we know that they like him so much and his potential, they're gonna give him a roster spot. We know that for a fact. And all those guys that are at the end of their contracts, and there's a lot of them back there, all those guys, they're gonna sit here and say which one of these guys are gonna win, so we know who to extend. That's their mindset right now. So it's a semantics game, and trust me, there's a lot of luck involved with making a football roster. We heard Eric Crocker talk about it also. He said once you get past the elite guys on a team, there's not much of a difference between the next man up and the guy at the bottom of the roster. He said it's just about getting your opportunity. And how do you get your opportunity? If you aren't that guy, it's because of injury. So and that's my take on it all. So this is a fun exercise. I like this. I like where we're going with this.
The next guy would be Suvan Ahmed. Suvan Ahmed will be in competition with Hasty for the next man up spot in the 49ers backfield. While Ahmad, 5'11", 195, has better size and is more versatile for the NFL game, he rates a step behind Hasty as a third down option.
Have confidence in your.
That wasn't me.
That was me.
Don't
Keep
curse
going.
me out, Nick.
The 49ers deal with Ahmed. Oh my God. The 49ers deal with Ahmed guarantees him $50,000. Ahmed is a patient runner who has the ability to explode upfield. He is a better fit for Shanahan's offense as a runner on base downs, but his ability to win a roster spot might hinge on his ability to prove himself as a route runner and pass catcher.
And I agree with that. And see, to me, he's going to have to beat out a guy like Jeff Wilson Jr., and I'm going to tell you why. Although we didn't get to see it a lot, we have to remember Jeff Wilson used to be a wide receiver. He can run routes, and he can catch. For whatever reason, they didn't utilize him that way, which I thought was a kind of a mishandling. You know what I mean? I would have liked to see more from our running backs as pass catchers, but, he's one of those guys that they brought in to do that because he's got that explosiveness that Breida had. You know what I mean? He might not have that 40 time, but he's up there. He's a physical guy. The problem is that they just downplayed so much the running back position. I hate how the NFL changed, man. I guess I'm just an old school guy. You know what I mean? I like the defense and the running backs. I'm like, let's just smash you in the face until you guys, tap into submission. But Kyle Shanahan likes to keep the legs healthy and run to the outside. I like seeing the offensive linemen just bulldoze dudes and get to the next level, and your running back is coming up in that A or B gap, just squeezing through and just boom and exploding. That's what I used to like to see. I love what Shanahan's doing now. You know what I'm saying? But this guy has a lot of potential. I like this guy a lot. But to me, he's going to be bad. Oh, you're on mute. What'd you say?
I said he's my favorite guy. I told you guys that before out of this entire undrafted class.
Mine too.
Right. To me, he's battling with Jeff Wilson Jr.
Oh, no, he's not my favorite.
This kid reminds me so much of Matt Breida. So much. I've said that before. And Matt Breida coming out wasn't a very good pass catcher as well. He had to practice that and got better as the years went along. So, but this guy's explosion and his vision just reminds me so much of Matt Breida. So much of Matt Breida. But yeah, I mean, we'll see, Do you have anything on him, Wayne?
So if I had to pick between one of the two backs, this would be the guy that I want. And then if you remember the last time when we were talking about these guys, man, I mean, if my tweet alone, like this dude had 184 pass catching yards, over 1,000 yards running. I don't know what his 40 time was, but he looked fast. I understand we pay attention to the 40. I get it. I got it.
But play speed is so different.
Oh my God! Did you have his once he crosses the? Okay, can I just say this? One cut. He's a one cut guy. Isn't that our offense? Isn't that our zone scheme? Boom, one cut, make the guy miss, and then that's when that's when their 40 starts. Their 40 starts after the cut, and that's why we love Raheem Mostert, right? That's what we loved about Matt Breida. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Breida was faster than Mostert, but I think Mostert's vision and cut was better. So if this kid could be a nice in between that, we might be saying bye-bye to Jeffrey Wilson.
Yeah, he ran a 4.32, I believe it was.
So he ran a 4.32, and after he gained 20 pounds and whatever.
Who y'all talking about, Breida?
No, Ahmed.
I thought
Ahmed.
Breida had the 4.32. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
I'll look it up real quick. I believe it was a 4.32, but or he did. Oh, it was a 4.62 unofficially.
4.62, and it was because he had somebody said he gained like 20 pounds, blah blah blah, whatever.
He's
whatever,
197 pounds.
Yo, man, all I know is if you watch film on this kid, once he makes that one cut, is good night card. As he's gone, like gone.
And that's what they look for in this system. That's what our running backs coach. Damn,
Mike cursed.
I said, damn, that's not a curse. What's his name?
I don't know.
Why is
Black
his
guy,
running backs
right?
coach name escaping me right now?
Black dude.
Yeah.
His name.
Oh my good, Bobby Turner. Like
you talk, the running backs coach?
Yeah, that's what he looks for.
I didn't even hear you. I was looking up something.
Identify the hole and explode through it. That's what he's looking for. He doesn't like these guys that get back there and bounce around. Where's the hole? Okay, now it's all closed up. You should have seen it. That's it. He don't like that. He hates that look. You know what I'm saying? So
I wonder what he loves Mike and Tevin Coleman.
He had 2016 career college yards with 21 touchdowns.
Bad baby.
On 353 attempts.
Was baller.
He averaged his lowest average was 5.4 yards per carry. His highest was 6.8.
Test, man. It's like the SATs, man. You know, some kids take the SATs, they can get damn near 1,600 on them joints, right? But that doesn't mean that they're smarter than the kid that got an 800, right?
Yo, Breezy old, man. They don't do 1,600 no more. That ain't the bar no more.
Yes,
It's higher than that now.
Nah, it went from 2,100. It went from 16 to 21. Now it's back to 16.
Oh, it's back to 6. Oh, my bad. My apologies.
I'm a teacher. I know, bro.
I've been out of school a long time.
That was my bad. I said a 4.32. I meant to say 4.62. I didn't look it up, so
it's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, even last year he had 16 receptions for 84 yards. The year before that, 21 receptions for 170 yards, and 13 receptions the year before that for 77 yards.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
And
Now,
he was the kick returner. So
can I just ask Mike's question? Why is he undrafted? Like, how did he go unlooked?
I don't know.
I will blame that on the running back position. I just talked about how they diminished that role. Okay. Do you guys remember a couple of years ago where running backs, you would get 3 or 4 of them in the first round? Those days are long gone. You're lucky if you get one running back in the first round. That's super. Like, you have to identify what they call franchise running backs. You got your Zeke Elliott, you got your Saquon Barkley, and Trent Williams. Trent. What was his name for the Browns? He messed it up. No, it was Trent something.
Trent.
I know you're talking about Richardson.
That's who it was. He messed up the high draft picks for running backs. He completely ruined it. So Dre says he just looked up Salvon Ahmed on February 26th. He ran a 4.32. On February 26th, he ran a 4.32. So I knew I heard something with a 4.32 before, or saw something, but it says a 4.62 on his combine. Oh, so that means that it was the pro day that he ran that at?
I don't know. He said February. Whatchamacallit said February 26th.
All right. I mean, either way, it's all good either way. But the guy is definitely explosive. And that's another thing too. People get caught up on these 40 times. When you put on the tape, you see the explosion in this dude. You could tell me he ran a 5.9. I wouldn't care. I know he plays faster than that. You know what I'm saying? And so this guy, he is definitely explosive. And Dante Frazier, thanks for the contribution. He didn't have a comment in there. I would have loved to see what he had to say, but it's cool. But it's just guys given, the running back position has been diminished so much. PFF has a part to do with it, where running isn't important anymore. It's a whole bunch of crap going on in the league because teams with the best run games are the teams that advance deep into the playoffs. They can sit here and try to say it's not important anymore, but that is complete BS. It's complete BS. They need to put a value back on the running back position because they're ruining the league.
And this is why players like Jalen Hurd changed his position in college from running back to wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
This is why he spoke to, I forgot which wide receiver it was that told him, or which running back it was. I can't remember who it was. And they was like, listen, man, change your position, do what you got to do, get out the spot because it's diminishing. And this is why running backs are going undrafted. Because let's look at the first round in the draft. Who was the first running back? I bet you no one can name without looking up the first running back that went off the board. I can
It
tell
wasn't
you,
Taylor. It was the other guy.
nope, he went to Kansas City, and it was none of the top 2 running backs.
Yeah,
that
it was
they
number
talked
30.
about.
It was 32. They picked a.
It was not one of the top. It wasn't J.K. Dobbins. It wasn't Swift. It was none of the top
No,
2
well,
running
Jonathan
backs.
Taylor came off the board before 32.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I didn't know Jonathan Taylor went in the first round. I thought there was only one running back that went in the first round.
Did he? Man,
I'll look it up.
I can't remember, to be
I'm
honest.
pulling it up. I'm pulling it up.
It was some Clyde Hare. That's who it was. He was the first running back, if I'm not mistaken. And he went to Kansas City. He's a fast guy, speedy guy, but no one knew.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That was the first running back was the last pick of the first round.
And no one knew who he was, right? And on top of that, he wasn't even the best coming out. He wasn't even in the top 5 of any of these analysts running backs, any of the experts.
But you got to remember this. He was their top guy for their system.
Oh, no. That's my point. That is my point. Good point.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying you in general. I'm just saying.
Now, you're absolutely right. That's the point. And that's why I'm saying, to go what Mike was saying, the diminishing of the value of the running back. This is why guys are going undrafted, because
Perfect example is Raheem Mostert. 6 teams before he got, 5 teams before he got to us.
No,
And
6. You were right. We're at 7th.
okay, yeah, so we're at 7. So 6 teams before us, undrafted guy, and now everybody's talking about him being a lead back, a franchise running back.
It's so disrespectful because there were a lot of good backs in this draft. 1 went in the first, and only 3 went in the second. That just tells you how they just. I don't know why. I don't know why, bro.
I
don't
think
know why.
I think it depends though, because running backs are taken a lot more when it's it's an offensive line year. You know what I mean? Like they'll take the running backs first and then people will touch the offensive line or whatever. But it really just matters with scheme and who's looking for a running back.
correct.
That's really what it boils down to.
I agree.
Because nobody really thought Kansas City was going to take, a running back with their first pick. They just lost they lose? A corner. They lost, I believe, a safety, right? So
And a defensive lineman. I can't remember which one, but they lost a big defensive lineman.
They
right.
did sign Chris Jones back, I think, so it wasn't him.
Yeah, so that was your 32nd, you're pretty much in the second round, and they took a running back that fit their system.
Well, they also have a running back. Well, I'm not going to say, but I will say it. F it. They have a running back that they're not sure of his future in the league. The kid can't stay out of trouble. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you gotta have an insurance policy for one of your top valued positions. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. All right, who else we got on the docket, man? I'm having fun this show, man.
Defensive back Jared Maiden.
This is my guy. So
Doesn't give these guys. It doesn't give prices for. So
this is the guy. This is the guy. These are the guys that are on my list. This is the guy that was covering our 7th round draft pick and knocked the crap out of him and made him fumble the ball. Like, this is that guy. This is the guy that ball hawks. This is that guy from Alabama. This is my guy. This is my guy. This is the guy I think that makes this squad because he's all dog. I think we sign dogs. That's it.
Wayne is the perfect. Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off, but Wayne is the perfect example as why the wives hate us. These guys be watching. They're probably on their phone, laying in bed with their wife, and then Wayne just comes out of nowhere.
Damn, Ricky Bobby.
And they're
Ricky Bobby, you just threw that on me. Dang, my God. All right. I'm gonna chill out.
Nah, don't change.
Don't chill out.
We need that.
Don't chill out. I'm just saying it's funny because it's like
I'm a lover, not a hater, fighter, whatever,
people
man.
people with headphones in and stuff's like, all right, this is a good volume, and then bam, like, oh, gotta turn it back.
Oh my God.
So,
I'm telling you, Maiden is the guy, bro.
I'll be right back.
This is the tart. This is the contract year. This is a way for this guy to come up on this squad and show who he is. All he gotta do is lay cats out. That's it. That's it. Lay cats out, play the ball, don't run bad angles. I know that's a lot, but that's what he got to do. And I think this is a guy, man.
You
Shout
know,
out.
he I'm sorry, we both did it at the same time. My bad. This guy, here's the thing, right? He brings something. I'm not going to say that other people don't have, but he brings a physicality to the secondary, right? So when they drafted, I'm going to use Akello as an example. When they drafted Akello Witherspoon, what was the knock on him? He doesn't like to tackle.
Right.
That was the thing. He didn't have that physical thing. He'd rather push you out of bounds than make the straight up hit. You know what I'm saying? This isn't that guy. This is not that guy. He will find the most physical guy and make a name, make an impression. And let me tell you why that's going to help him make a roster, whether he makes the Niners roster or not. He's going to have some eye-popping hits in the fourth quarter of preseason. He's going to have those hits where people, you know when you're watching the game and everything is quiet and then all of a sudden everybody just goes, ooh. He's going to be that guy that brings those oohs and ahs. And so when that happens, people are going to start taking note to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say he's Deshaun Goldson or anything like that, but he is going to pop some guys because he's got that fearless. He doesn't mind. Where's the ball? Put your nose on the ball and make a play on it. And that's what he's going to do. So I understand what you're saying, and he is definitely the guy that is going to turn some heads. He might not be the best guy in coverage,
Right.
but he's going to be a physical dude, and he is not afraid to get in the trenches and get dirty.
Right. And he plays zone rather well, man. If you want, I'm not saying on all his film, but he does play spots. You know, if you watch him at that safety position, and he can play a little cornerback too, man. And you got to think about it, man. That's another. What's the one thing Kyle Shanahan loves in every player on his team? They got to be what starts with a V. Versatile. They got to be versatile. They got to be able to play and know multiple positions. That's why I said this offense and defense isn't as simplistic as it might look sometimes. It's super complicated. And I was not trying to downgrade Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to bring that back up. But I just think him coming into here trying to learn that complication in year 3 of his career, year 4, it might be difficult for him. This is a complicated system. Now, back to Maiden, ball hawk, 100%, yo. Mike, I'm like you. I don't know why guys go undrafted. Again, everyone can't be drafted. And I understand that. But I do think Nick said, yo, this is where scouts go to work and they say, listen, man, if we can get this guy undrafted, this might be a steal. I mean, and our best case scenario, we're 3 for 10, 4 for 10, and our worst case scenario, we're 1 for 10. As long as they're 1 out of those 10, they good.
Do you have his numbers pulled up from college over there? Because I want to know. I noticed that I'm talking about the physicality. You threw the word out there twice, and you said ball hawk. Now, when I hear ball hawk, I think somebody
only have 4 interceptions, so I know that off the top
for
of my
a career or last year.
For last season,
that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all.
I think I posted his stats. Let me look him up. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. So I feel like we said that though when we went over all these guys and we went on the undrafted guys. I feel like that was the guy that led the interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. So I think you're right on that. And the thing is, we didn't go over the entire career. We only focused on the last year of production, and so that's something that I think is going to play a major part in this.
All right, so his total is 4, but he got all 4 last year. All right. Okay. But let's see. This first 2 years he only played in 2 games. So 2016, 2018, he only played 2 games apiece. His junior year, he played in 10 games. He had 8 tackles. He had 17 tackles. I'm sorry, total. But he didn't have any interceptions. But his let me see. I'm looking for touchdowns. But his total altogether for his whole career, his 4 years, in Alabama, 44 solo tackles, 37 assisted. That's a total of 81 tackles. 3 of those tackles were for loss. He has 1 sack and 4 interceptions. On his return of interceptions, he got 54 yards. So out of those 4 interceptions, he returned for 54 yards.
And I want to say something about the assisted tackles. And I understand that people look at solo tackles as the main number. But what assisted tackles tells me is that even if the play is not to you, you're going to where the play is. And that is something that is super valuable in a system and a scheme like this one. You know what I'm saying? Because The Niners will mix it up. They do very little man, but they will do it sometimes when they're playing zone. It's about there's the ball and boom, we swarm to it. This guy has to. All right, sure. This guy.
I'm sorry, Sean. So Nick can't hide the emails. Nick be getting emails and be like, "Yo, why does Wayne talk so loud? Does he have his volume up?" You know what I'm saying? Now I see the emails, so I'm gonna work on tuning myself down. Yo.
Wait, I want to read this. I want to read this out loud. I'll get back to my thought. I was bottle feeding my baby. Bree phone goes off. I think he meant to say the. No, maybe not. Oh, Breezy.
Yeah.
Phone goes off. Woke him up. I have the TV volume down at 8. I don't know what TV he has, but my TV volume goes up to 89 for whatever reason. Most TVs go to 100. He said he had it down at 8. Breezy get hyped. Baby wakes up. He likes Mike for some reason. I have a soothing voice. I'm one of those guys. With my babies, I will get my babies even when they give my wife a hard time, and I'll just talk to them. So I'm not patting my own self on the back, but for whatever reason, I have a soothing voice when it comes to babies. But Sean, thanks for the contribution too, big dog. But the assisted tackles tells me that you are not afraid to if the play. How many times do we see? How many times do we see a player just out of the play and just stop running?
Yeah.
Right. Defensive, not defensive, but coaches hate that. They hate that. Just because you think the play is not to you doesn't mean you shouldn't be heading downfield, because what if they break a tackle? You still need to start taking that proper angle and moving towards it. So assisted tackles is something that I really, really like to see in guys, and that's a number right there. And again, we talked about the whole AC versus this guy. This guy has a dynamic to him that I like a little bit more than AC, even though they obviously didn't give him all that big money, but that's what it is that you're looking for.
I think where he comes in, I don't know if you guys mentioned this or not, but his versatility is where he comes into his team. And that comes up with, especially with Jaquiski Tartt being a free agent next year, and he can play strong and free safety. So that's where I think this position comes into play at.
A 1-year starter. And then in that 1 year, he took advantage of it. He got the 4 interceptions, and he had a ton of assisted tackles. That is great from somebody back there that far in the secondary. So it's something that I'm going to be on the lookout for. I really, really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? What is this one? I listen to NBN while I go to sleep sometimes. Breezy will erupt with enthusiasm out of nowhere. Then I wake up stoked.
Hey, Sheldon, man, glad I could get the assist, man. I'm Scottie Pippen, you Michael Jordan, man. Go ahead and do your thing, baby. I do love the kids. Just keep it a buck out there. I definitely love children, man. They are my heart.
Put on the subtitle.
Hey, Kenny, that's how you gotta roll. Just put the captions on. Put the subtitles on. That's what TV's
Funny. And I like Breezy's energy, man. I was just saying, like, dude, I was running the other day when I couldn't join, and I was listening to you guys, and then my earphones were just like, I was like, oh, like,
yo. And what's funny is, remember at the NFC Championship, because George brought this up, yo. At the NFC Championship, I went live, right, with Mike and I forgot who else was on, right? And we're live, and I'm trying to yell, and I'm so amped up at halftime, right? I'm trying to keep it down that my ear pod blew out, right?
Yep. So funny, man. So funny.
I was amped, yo. It was worth it, though. That game was amazing. All right, man. Let's get to the rest of this list because I'm getting tired, man.
All right, so linebacker Jonas Griffith, Indiana State, says don't sleep on Indiana State linebacker Jonas Griffith, 6'3", 247. Though the 49ers group of linebackers already is solid, Griffith will be eyeing a reserve role behind starters Fred Warner, Quan Alexander, Dre Greenlaw. He will compete against Joe Walker, Aziz Al-Shaair, and Mark Njoku. Griffith's immediate future with the club is tied entirely to how he performs on special teams. If he is a tackling machine on the coverage units, he will buy himself some time to prove he can make an impact on a defense in the future.
Hold on, man. You talk first, Mike.
So when it comes to the linebacker position, if I had to pick a guy who he's going to compete with, and Mayoko did a good job there mentioning special teams, and it's not like he's saying that about every single one of these guys. A special teams guy that's been on this team for a long time is Mark Njoku. This is direct competition
Special teams, yeah.
for him. This is direct competition for him. So I don't have much more on it. I don't know that I don't remember the guy's stats. I know we talked about it and we broke it down before. But this is the competition directly for Mark Nazaucha. Absolutely, the German phenom, by the way.
Yeah, Daniel, appreciate the support there. MBN panel is the best.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Go ahead.
just really quick. I just wanted to apologize to you guys out there. I mean, Connie, she emailed us, or he emailed us. I'm not sure. Connie Ball emailed us about Jonas Griffith, and I guess we didn't have all the stats. We couldn't find the stats. Like I couldn't find the stats. Mike couldn't find the correct stats. It was like a weird thing because we were trying to look up who this guy was. Yo, I watched some tape on him. It's not the best film that I got a chance to watch, but I will say he was all over the field. I do know that. Like he was on every play, every tackle. I don't have the stats here because I posted them on Twitter at some point in my life, whatever. But the stats that I posted were good. Like he balled out. He was balled at Indiana State, man. So definitely shout out to Mr. Griffith. And good luck to him, man. I hope he's able to make this squad, yo.
Yeah, I try to go back in your tweets and find it, but that shit's like archived in like National Treasure. you tweet like 20 tweets like every minute.
I do so.
Nick said we got to call Nicolas Cage to find that.
We got to call Nicolas Cage to go to the gold secrets, man.
You better get Laura Croft and Tomb Raider, man. It's out. It's there. It's there.
This comment here from Ed Nesbitt is a really, really good one, guys. I credit any 49ers channel that can go out and get these guys on. If you guys get a chance to hear something from the players themselves, go and look for it. It is a great example, or you can figure out these guys' mentality. You get to hear these guys away from the pressers. You know what I mean? Where they let their guard down a little bit more because they know, this is for the 49ers. They're kind of coached before they do those things and don't say this, don't mention that, and da-da-da-da-da. When you get them on a show that's not sponsored by the 49ers or done by the 49ers team itself, you get a little bit more from these guys. So if you guys know of players that are out there, absolutely throw them in here in the chat. We'll put the comments up there because it's good for everybody watching to know more about these players. You end up becoming fans of these guys. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. When we had Emmanuel Mosley on, I didn't know much about him. You know what I mean? Yep. And Julian Taylor. Those two guys became some of my favorite guys immediately on the roster just from the interviews that they did. And it wasn't even like I was a part of all of them. It's just good to hear these guys. And when you learn these guys' mentality, it's really, really good. You get some more insight. You get to dig a little bit deeper. So shout out to Ed for this comment here. We appreciate it, man. Check that out over there on Rombo Sports.
Yeah, they said he just got done doing it. They just had Maiden on, so good for him, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next person is Mike's guy, fullback Josh Hockett.
Oh, I thought you were going to go to the quarterback. You said Mike's guy. I'm sorry. I was ready to celebrate over here.
Ideally, Fresno State fullback Josh Hockett, an NCAA wrestling All-American, brings Kyle Juszczyk-esque versatility to the team. This is a tidbit, though. The 49ers have not retained a backup fullback on their active roster or practice squad since Juszczyk was signed in the spring of 2017. That might not change this year either. The 49ers likely are expecting Warner to handle a lot of the duties as a move tight end if they ever need someone to fill in for Juice. So Hockett's challenge is to prove the 49ers decision makers that the best route for the organization is to keep him around. The increase in practice squad members works to his advantage. The door is open for him to prove worthy of a longer look.
Who was the guy that was worked out by Chris Kosaric? Was this him?
No, it was a defensive guy. It was an
offensive guy. I remember it being
the tight end. It was the tight end we signed.
Charlie Warner.
Yeah, he played defensive end.
The guy we drafted.
Yeah.
The tight end we drafted.
He was a defensive end in college, and they said one day, "Hey, we're going to switch you to tight end." He was like, "Okay," and then so he became a tight end. But he started off as defensive end. Yep.
Right.
Okay. All right. I didn't mean to take away from this fullback here. You guys know how I feel about fullbacks. I just want some more competition there. I mean, Juice is going to get the spot. We already know that he's not coming in here and going to take Kyle Juszczyk's job, but it will be fun to see how the 49ers do it. I remember seeing we had a two-way player. He played defense and fullback for a little bit for the 49ers. And then he went to Seattle. Who was that? He had the long hair. Oh, he was a defensive lineman. Jesus.
Oh, I know who you're talking about too.
It was like 4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, not Warner. It was Chase. It was an undrafted guy, the tight end.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Chase.
Okay, I don't remember which one it was. I know it was an offensive guy. Hold on, I gotta get a refill here. Let me give my waitress something. Don't tell my wife I called her my waitress, by the way.
She's watching right now.
Tafuku.
All right. Man, what was that guy's name?
Not Will Tafuka. Tafuka.
No, I don't think it was Tafuko. I don't remember.
Not Bruce Miller.
No, it wasn't Bruce Miller. Oh, the Mac was saying it's Chase Harrell.
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's the guy, the tight end from Arkansas, right?
Yeah, Chase Harrell was the guy. Yeah.
Well, the next guy is Brock Rudder, but I don't want to start until Mike's back. All right, he's back.
Is this the last guy?
The next guy is quarterback Brock Rudder.
Is he the last guy though?
Yep.
Okay, because I was gonna say let's save him for last.
We saved the best.
He's the last. He's
All
the
right,
last.
here we go. I'm going to play this clip here because there was a little interesting tidbit about the 49ers cap and what they were allowed to do for the rookies. And so this is on NFL Network with Siciliano and Palacero and Steve Weiss. So listen to this really quick. Hopefully, let me turn my volume up all the way. All right, there we go.
The 49ers signed undrafted rookie quarterback Brock Rudder, a record-breaking quarterback from Division III North Central College, and they gave him a peculiar signing bonus of $279. Turns out the original deal included no bonus, but when the 49ers were done signing all their undrafted rookies, they had $279 left over. Decided, hey, give it to Rudder, let him take his family out to dinner. His agent Mike McCartney told me after he direct deposits it, he better frame it. It might be the smallest ever.
All right, so with this, all right, now that's just a little fun tidbit. The $279 isn't a big deal. This guy, I'm telling you, I swear on everything, I wish this guy was in Division I or Division II at least. But because he's a Division III guy, he goes undrafted. This guy is stellar. I love everything about. Now, that doesn't mean he can't improve. All right, they're rookies. Every single rookie can improve. I don't care if he's the number 1 overall pick. Nick Bosa can improve. Okay, but this guy does it all. The pocket presence. He threads the ball into tight windows. Oh my God. I don't want to sound like a homer because I'm not related to this dude. I don't know this guy at all personally or anything like that. But this guy is going to be a lot of fun to watch in the third and fourth quarters of preseason football because he's got patience. He has a good understanding. He commands the huddle well. Thank you very much. I'll give you a tip later. And I said a tip, not the tip. Don't put me. Don't.
And I gotta watch my mouth. These guys.
Said it now.
I didn't curse.
It's not. It's worse than cursing. That's XXX rated.
What did I say?
The tip.
A tip.
You said the tip.
I said I didn't say the tip.
You just.
But anyway, I hope this guy makes it as a backup quarterback for this team. We know that the team picked up, that he signed his tender. Nick Mullins signed his tender and everything like that. But this is the guy I would love to see compete for the backup position. I hope the 49ers can do this fairly. We know that Kyle Shanahan and his coaches have – we know that Kyle Shanahan and the coaches have their favorite guys. We know that because they kept C.J. Beathard around. C.J. Beathard lost the backup position to Nick Mullins, yet he's still here, right? And so I'm not saying I want to see this guy replace C.J. Beathard because the truth of the matter is this. Even if he beats out C.J. Beathard, he might not make this roster because I think the only reason the team kept C.J. Beathard once he lost the backup position was because of what they invested in him to get him. Remember that they traded up. We were done for the night in the third round, and the team traded 2 picks to move back up into the third round so they can get C.J. Beathard. You don't just let a guy like that walk away, all right? And so with this guy, with Brock Rudder coming in here, I want to see him compete with Nick Mullins for the backup position. I want to see him compete for the backup position, not just to make the roster. And I'll be honest with you guys. He has a shot at doing it, man. He's probably I won't say what I was going to say. Go ahead, you guys talk.
There was something I wanted to say. Oh, you were talking about CJ Beathard. I kind of agree, but I want to add more to that. I think they kept CJ Beathard around as an insurance policy because Jimmy G was coming back from that injury. And just in case he had a slip up or a mishap or whatever, yeah, they would go Nick Mullins, but I think they needed that another quarterback on the roster. So I think that's why CJ Beathard was around. With that being said, though, I think this is bye-bye time for CJ Beathard, and it might be bye-bye time for Nick Mullins. But my question is, because you guys understand cap stuff way better than I do. He signed his tender. So if they were to cut Mullins because they couldn't find a trade by July 1st or whatever, like, would it hurt the 49ers in any kind of way? Or we would just be out of however million dollars it was. It was $7 million, I think it was.
What was the question?
So so let's say this guy Rudder, what's his name? Rudder. Let's say Rudder, Brock Rudder, I think that's his name. He comes in and he absolutely looks amazing, right? So I think CJ Beathard, I think they'll find ways to part with Beathard, right? They'll let him go. But I also think that they figure out if they can't, I think they really try to find trade for Nick Mullins. And if they can't get a Nick Mullins trade, is it possible that they cut him? Because I don't think the 49ers go with 3 quarterbacks this season. I just don't think they do that. That's my early 55-man prediction thing. You guys got a tidbit to that. So you lucky mother suckers.
I agree with you. No.
Finally, we agree. Hallelujah.
No, I agree with you that the Niners don't keep 3 quarterbacks this year. I do agree that last year I said the only reason that CJ Beathard was still here was because of the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo was coming off an injured season and they didn't know what they were going to get from him. So therefore, you keep the extra 2, and then Nick Mullins gets promoted to starter, and you have a backup in case something happens to him. So that's why the backup competition was so much last year between Mullins and Beathard, was because if something happened to Jimmy Garoppolo, who was taking this offense over? So I think that you're right on that. I don't think we keep 3 running backs this year or 3 quarterbacks this year. But I think that if there was an option of who to keep, I think they try to we already know that they were trying to trade Nick Mullins, right? So, well, there was a rumor.
The only reason I said no, they weren't trying to trade him. They got offers for him.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. People were trying to acquire him and didn't give up enough for him. So my feeling on that is you're only losing if you cut CJ Beathard, money-wise, that is, $176,000 if you cut pre-June 1st in money this year. If you can't find a trade partner to where you get exactly what you want, I think CJ Beathard is gone. If you can get what you want for Nick Mullins, then CJ Beathard stays.
What's the cost of cutting Beathard after June 1st? The reason I'm asking that is because it's not like they can get their hands on these guys right now.
It's the same.
So either way, it's only $178,000?
$176,000 and $946,000 cap savings. So if Nick Mullins doesn't get traded and you don't get what you want, I think they're done with CJ Beathard.
Yeah.
If you can get something for Nick Mullins that of what you want, because obviously we know they can get something. I think the highest was a 4th that somebody came for. If they want more than that, and they can get a 3rd round pick, let's just say, they're going to keep CJ Beathard. But if they can't get rid of Mullins, I think Mullins gets an extension, and CJ Beathard's going, especially with only 100. He's only making $1 million against the cap this year. So,
and the thing that's impressive about Rudder is what you look for in a guy in the lower divisions, right? So it's one thing to have your quarterback stats, whether you're Division 1, 2, or 3, right? But if you're a guy that is going to be in the NFL and you played against lesser competition because you're Division 2 or Division 3, you want to see pure dominance from that guy. This guy broke literally every Division 3 quarterback record that there was. He is the man in Division 3, not a guy. He is the guy from Division 3. You want to see these guys go out there and just destroy the competition. And that's exactly what Rudder did. That's why he's in the NFL. I'm going to say it. He's in the NFL right now because of that. So you take a guy who, for whatever reason, couldn't get to a Division 2 or Division 1, right? But how like if you had a running back in in Division 3 that only had, 1,100 yards a season, you're not going to get many looks because, one, you're a running back. But aside from that, those aren't eye-popping numbers. When you're looking in the lower divisions, you want to see something that is just like, wait, what'd you say? Let me pull up his. I don't know if you guys have his stats. Let me pull up his stats just to hold on. Give me a second, guys. You guys go ahead and you talk for a second.
I just want to go back to this because you said a little while ago was, these guys come out with all this skill set. Why weren't they drafted? So why was Rudder not drafted?
Because he was a Division 3 quarterback. I'm not gonna waste a draft pick on a guy that I don't know if he can handle Division 2 or Division 1 even, for that matter, right? But you want to make sure you get this guy. So last season, he started 15 games. He completed 71% of his passes. That's throwing for almost 450. He completed 71% of his passes. And he threw for almost 4,591. And listen to this number, 56 touchdowns. We were sitting here arguing about Cam Newton and accounting for, what was it? 35 plus, what was it?
10 rushing.
That's only 45. This dude threw for 56 touchdowns. 56 touchdowns, completing 71%. Bro, there's this crazy stat
that Andy Dalton put together.
Right? There's this crazy stat that's out there that says
Cam and Andy are both trash.
That's what I'm talking about.
There's this. They say that the one thing that's not likely to improve much from a quarterback from the college to the pro level is their completion percentage. They either have it or they don't. They say you don't normally see a big jump. If you draft a guy and he's only a 56 to 60% completion guy, don't expect him to come into the NFL and complete 70% of his passes. This guy completed 71. I'm just talking about last season.
Jordan Love only had a 54.9 completion percentage.
And somehow he got drafted. But again,
what college is North Dakota State? That's Division 2 or 1?
I think it's 2, but I'll look it up.
Isn't that where Carson Wentz came from? Okay. Just asking.
Oh, okay. They think they're making pros over there. Okay, I see what you're getting at. Go ahead.
Division 2, yeah.
Okay. So no, well, so I agree with what Mike said. I mean, why would I, pay a guy that can't, or draft? Excuse me. Why would I draft a guy who hasn't proven they can do that same type of level stuff at Division 2 or Division 1? But the one thing I know my brother Tony would say is, if a guy is the absolute best at the best of the best of the best of the best, no matter where he is, like, that should stand out. That should stand out. And if this guy threw for 50, you can't tell me his numbers weren't that. I mean, you can't tell me his numbers are you could say they're inflated or whatever because it's Division 3 or whatever it is. North Dakota State, they said, was Division 1. I'm sorry. But I don't know, man. If he performed that well and has a gift of quarterback, man, why not? Like, give him. We're giving him a shot.
Hey, and look at how, like, Division 3 does this guy. Like, it's so bad. The team's site Is this the official team site?
It's
Maybe
bad,
not.
isn't
No.
it?
No, this is Hero Sports. They only charted him for 8 games. They didn't even finish it. Like it's so. Hold on, let me find.
Maybe
another
they
link.
only play 8 games in
No, but it says here that he
Division
played in all 15. So hold on, let me pull it up on ESPN. No, ESPN is going to show his professional stuff.
Nick is on it. Yo, that's Mike's mic.
What? There's more feedback again?
Mike, go mute.
All right, my bad. Let me mute while I'm looking.
Because I want to say closet. No echo. Now come back off of mute.
How am I supposed to
Closet.
look?
Yeah, that's Mike's mic, dog. Yeah. It was like closet. Got me trapped in the closet. Yo, Jesus Christ, Mike. That's my guy, yo.
Sorry, I was on mute. There's only 11 players in the NFL from Division 3.
Oh, can you name some that we might know? Name the ones we only know.
Steven Hauschka.
Kicker? I
Yep.
don't know who.
Derek
Okay.
Carrier.
Tight end.
Yep.
He was a 49er.
Yep. Nicholas Morrow,
I don't
linebacker
know.
for the Raiders.
You gotta go.
Jake Kumaro, wide receiver, Green Bay Packers. Matt Gano, Atlanta Falcons, offensive tackle. Ali Marpet, offensive guard, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Arizona Cardinals, offensive tackle, Jeremy Vujovic. Carolina Panthers, Brandon Zylstra, wide receiver. Chicago Bears, Michael Joseph, cornerback. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Nate Traywin, center. And New Orleans Saint Dan Arnold, tight end. And there's only been 12, and Pierre Garçon was one of them.
Wait, say that again?
Pierre Garçon came out of a Division III school, too.
Get the freak out of here.
Yeah, Garçon played at Mount Union College and was drafted in the 6th round. He is currently listed as a free agent.
Oh, I thought he retired. He didn't retire yet?
He's the only one. He's a free agent, but technically retired. But he's the only player that's ever been drafted out of Division III.
I pulled out my Beretta. I'm about to go listen to that Trapped in the Closet, whole 1 through 21. I'm not an R. Kelly supporter, but I was
about to say that's okay. Now I got some numbers here for Brock. I told you guys what he did last year. Let's go backwards and see how he did the seasons before.
Okay.
He completed. Oh, I don't have my calculator pulled up. This will give you the percentages. If one of you guys want to pull up a calculator,
got it.
He threw for 39, so 3,539 yards, 30 touchdowns. Let me see if they have the interceptions here also, because that's one thing that they're not going to tell you about.
This is 2019?
No, this is 2018.
2018.
So let's start with the 2019. We already know that he had 71% completion. Let me go back to 2019. I'll give you the stats one more time, because you want to see if this guy progressed year after year. At least that's what I want to see. Okay. So he completed 71% of his passes for 4,591 yards, 56 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. Okay. Jesus, this guy is a monster. All right, in 2018, he was all right, Nick. So what you're gonna have to do is divide. All right, here we go. So he had 385 attempts for 269 completions. So 269 divided by 385. What's that?
Say it again.
269 divided by 385.
Rounded off is 70%.
Another 70% season?
Yeah, 70%. It's okay. It's 69.9 something.
69.87013.
Yeah.
Listen to this. 30 touchdowns with only 3 interceptions. Okay. The year before, 2017, he had, let's go down. He completed 208 out of 332. So I don't know what that number is going to be.
That's 62.6, so that's 63%. So he got better, Mike.
Right. With 21 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. And then his other season, 2016, I don't even know if he was a starter then. Oh, yeah. All right. 230 out of 351. $230, $351. What's that?
65%.
for 38 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Yo, he was balling out, yo.
This dude, he doesn't turn the ball over, man. He doesn't turn. Like, come on, man. Come on. This guy, oh my God, I'm getting him on the show.
So do you think they compare him in comparison, will they compare him coming out of college to Nick Mullins coming out of college to CJ Beathard coming out of college? But they compare those three comparisons, you know what I'm saying? And try to and then obviously look at how they learn and practice things like that. You think that will help people decide and factor to who makes the team or not? Or is the college stuff doesn't matter anymore?
You're not gonna get those comparisons because the truthers are gonna say, oh well, he was playing against lesser competition.
Oh, okay.
That's what you're gonna get all the time. So they're gonna try to diminish, like, so for the people who are pounding the table for Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard, they're gonna say this guy didn't play against the competition they played against, so it's not a fair comparison.
Okay.
But I'm telling you that coaches look at the completion percentages and the turnover ratio, or the touchdown to interception ratio. His is off the charts, both of them.
Yeah,
both of them. What did we just say? His worst completion percentage was his 63%, first year.
Yeah,
and then it was 63, 65, 70, and 71. Come on, bro. Come on.
And the interceptions went down too. So,
yep. I'm getting this guy on the show. I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna happen. I'm getting him on the show. I'm about to.
That boom, boom, boom.
There he is. I found him. I'm gonna get him on the show. All right. My homework starts tonight after the show. He is the guy that I am most excited about of all undrafted free agents on the 49ers. Of all of them, he is the guy I'm most excited about, and I'm making no qualms about it. I just want y'all to know that.
Yeah, man. Great show, guys. Hey, man, I'm sorry if I woke up your kids.
No, he's not.
I am sorry because I got a kid upstairs that I hope is sleeping. I know soon as I walk in the room, he's going to be jumping on the bed.
Because you're going to be like, hey, baby, are you sleeping?
Nope. I creep into the room. I ain't stupid. I want him to be asleep. As soon as I walk in that room, I'm going to say, and he's going to get up, and then my wife going to be like, oh, this mother. So, yeah, that's what's probably going to happen in about 7
You know what's funny? Because Nick Mullins destroyed Brett Favre's numbers in college, and he only had a 63.3 percentage.
So he turned the ball over more.
He had 2015. Well, he didn't have a whole lot of touchdowns. 2013, 13 touchdowns. 2014, 12. 2015, 38. 2016, 24. Interceptions was 14 in 2013, so he had 13 to 14 ratio. 12 to 9 in 2014. 38 to 12 in 2015, and 24 to 11 in 16 for 11,994 yards. Or I'm sorry, 11,994 yards.
But you know, they're going to compare him to Brett because it's the same school that he came from.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
What was it? Jimmy Garoppolo and the dude from the Cowboys, Tony Romo.
Tony Romo went to the same college. Yeah,
right. So you hear the comparisons between those two sometimes, and it's crazy because I think I've heard people compare Jimmy Garoppolo's play to Tony Romo's play in the NFL, and I know that we hate the Cowboys as 49er fans, but Tony Romo had a really, really good career.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
I mean, once you exclude playoffs, but Jimmy Garoppolo's already accomplished more in the postseason than Tony Romo did. But it's still saying something. Like if we can get this Tony Romo guy who can take you all the way, then great. That is great. I'm pulling for Brock, man. I really, really like this dude. And if he doesn't make it with the Niners, I hope he goes somewhere and lights it up. I really, really do. As long as he's not playing against us. This guy he's a good guy. And the Niners, something else I noticed, they don't go after the 6'4", 6'7" quarterbacks. They like those guys that are 6'1" and 6'2". I don't know who the tallest guy is, but I'm willing to bet that the 6'2" is the tallest quarterback on our roster. I don't think we have those massive quarterbacks. And they, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the compact guys that they like for so they can take a hit. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, they just don't go after those guys. So I'm excited about Brock Rudder, man. And again, I know we were discussing the free agency guys. Absolutely my favorite guy here. So that's it for me. I won't drag this out anymore. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts on all of this. Great show, by the way, guys. I had a lot of fun. I was ready to light up another cigar. I bought the whole this is the one I travel with when I'm out and about. It's my little humidor here. I keep the cigars in here. I was ready to rock, man.
Yeah, it's a great show, man. 2.5 hours, man. Woo!
I'm not tired. I would have kept going. I know y'all want to go, but I had a lot of fun on this one, man.
2.5 hours, all to find out Cam's trash.
Wah, 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 wah. And we're out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another Nothing But Niners show. I'm your boy.
I'm your boy. 49ers Breezy. No, I'm just messing around.
That was it.
This is funny, though. This is funny. Breezy has 100% completion percentage, waking up Kanan up.
Hey, man.
Waking Kanan up. Volume 5 of 100.
Send me my check, man. Put 5 on it, dog. I got you, man. I got you. Nah, man, for real. But definitely want to send a shout out. Listen, Nick and I are getting personal pictures painted. And I definitely wanted to shout my man Avery and his wife Alyssa.
Yeah,
who's painting these customized pictures. If you guys want customized pictures, you're definitely gonna want to hit them up. I tell you what, as soon as we get our pictures in, Mike, you need to get up on this. Please hit them up.
I wanted to hit him up today, and I just didn't have it. I was running.
I know why. I saw that bill. And Tony, please. I was like, God, when you asked me about the joint, I meant to tell you you're gonna spend at least 500. I meant to tell you that.
I did not expect to spend that much grocery shopping today.
Bro, you spent a mortgage payment on groceries.
No, you legit spent mortgage, bro. But you good for like 2 months.
Yeah, we stocked up the deep freezer outside.
He said, "No, you're not."
But this is my bro. I got 6 people in my house plus a big ass dog. Like,
nah, you good, man. Trust me.
Bro, how many of those were chicken wings?
No, none. Believe it or not, none. We don't buy our chicken from those places.
Yeah, me neither, bro.
Nah, you say because that's probably about $200 for the way you eat wings.
That's what I was gonna say. We still got to go, and get there's
meats.
Other items like we don't buy eggs at the bulk places and.
Good. Maybe I should come over now because every time I came over there before, I had to buy food.
Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. See how Nick be trying to play me. I'll be like, yo, it's on me.
Hey, Mike,
I got it. See how.
Which one did you do, Sam's Club or
Nah, we went with BJ's.
You went with BJ's. Nah, their eggs are dope, man. I get my eggs from there.
You should have went with Costco.
I wanted to go to Costco, but that was in Jersey. They don't have a close one to us out here in
Perry. Oh yeah. So BJ's would be the next best one.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, man.
I get my eggs. I get the farmer hens, the fresh joints, so they're organic, and they're like $7.
He said, "Why you call Mike out live?" I was just messing with him. I always offered when I went over there to purchase food or pizza or wings or whatever. I was I did that.
No, it's okay. Nick just don't take no for an answer.
No, I don't take no for an answer. No, but that was on me. I wasn't calling you out on that. I was just joking around. But yeah, BJ's is the way to go, man. Any of those bulk buying places.
Especially when you got a big family, man. It's kind of crazy, man. We go to the grocery store every week and spend $200. So I'm going to see how this goes. And then also when you're walking through those places, I know this has nothing to do with the 49ers. When you're walking through those places, you're like, yo, we could use that.
Easy.
We went there for groceries. I bought a box of ring pops for my girls.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Because they got the whole candy aisle, bro.
That's where the stores go to shop.
It was like 90 pieces of ring pops in that bag, man. I was like, yo, we got to get this to them.
Yo, that's where I used to get. Remember when we used to go to school? I used to buy blow pops and then sell them for 25 cents.
That's what I did too, bro. My grandmother had a Sam's Club membership. I would go and get the gum, the lollipops. Man, I don't even want to talk about the hustles I had, bro. I paid somebody to use their locker so I could stash the candy in there and everything. And then because they found out I was selling candy, they're like, we got to check your locker. We heard something. All right.
He's a hustler, baby.
Right,
hey.
I was getting
I just want you to know.
This is super random, right? But I don't know if y'all remember when the candies came out called Chupa Chubes. There were lollipops in the hood or the watermelon slice shaped candies. Y'all remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
You couldn't get them. I grew up in a very wealthy neighborhood. So you had to get those from the hood. So my mom lived in Trenton. My grandmother is the one that lived over there in the wealthy neighborhood, and that's where I went to school. Bro, I would go to my mom's house on the weekend, load up on them bad boys. I was selling them for $1 a piece, bro. They were a quarter. Like,
Yep.
I'm old, man. I remember Chico sticks and Mary Jane's and those now that was candy, man.
Bro.
Lemon heads,
Grape
Mike
heads
Ike's,
were-
grape heads, apple heads.
Yeah, we had a penny
God.
store like in like right around the corner when I would go visit my sisters at my dad's house, and we'd buy all that stuff like lemon heads,
Yep.
Swedish fish,
Sweetest fish.
all those things. And you
Bro.
get 100 of them for $1.
Bro, now later's changed the game for the candy sales.
Boston baked beans, bro. Yes, yo.
Yes, sir.
Boston chews. Like candy was legit back in the day. Now I don't know what I don't even eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember when these came out?
Yo,
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's still one of my favorite candies.
Yeah, Warheads and the big now late or not the big like the gobstoppers or whatever they're called. Those big
Sweet Tarts, I think it was called. Like,
Sweet Tarts.
yeah.
Yo, candy was legit,
I
yo.
was pushing candy like it was
Wait. Mhm. Facts,
I
yo.
had 2 backpacks in school. One was for the candy, one was for my books and stuff, man.
Jawbreakers. That's
Wait, I just gotta post this. Why you gotta mess up our high, bro? Hey, yo, Tim.
all those things.
Like we was up here, and now I gotta worry about cancer. Pop rocks. Yo, remember you
my
couldn't
God,
drink
who
soda
said
with
Pop
that
Rocks?
joint because it'll explode your stomach.
Yeah, that's what they were saying, right, man? But come on, bro. It was you couldn't tell
Man,
me.
you know what? That'll be a hard one. Top 5 candies.
We should do that. We gotta do that, yo. Top
That'd
5
be really
candies.
hard. Oh God, pixie sticks.
Ah, that was straight sugar. That was crack and a stick.
Do y'all remember the fake candy cigarettes? It was bubble gum.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
blow
And it was,
the powder out.
how about the candies that came on the paper and they were like little dots?
Oh,
I remember those. They sold those in school, so I couldn't push that.
weren't they called like Pop Tarts or something like that?
I don't know what they called them. I just know, yo, we got to do
A
it.
little roll, and they were like blue, yellow, red.
Yes, we red. Yes.
I hated that they had that in the cafeteria, bro. I'm like, come on, man, y'all on my turf now. Like I was hating on them for getting those out there.
Yo.
man.
Oh, the dipping sticks.
How about Big Lead
dip.
Chew, yo? Like I
Yeah.
thought I was a baseball. I wanted to.
The grape was the best one of the big
The
leagues.
grape was the best flavor.
Yeah, grape was definitely the best flavor.
It wasn't even real grape.
Oh God, do you remember these? The wax soda bottles.
No, and you would eat some of the wax by mistake because you wanted to chew the last little juice out of it.
I would put them in my mouth all together and treat it like it was gum. Just chew it until the flavor was gone. And boop, out.
These are probably my favorite, like from then.
Nerds.
But
Yeah,
you got to get the purple and the pink.
And the
pack.
purple,
Don't get those
yep.
other ones. You can't get the other ones. The nerds, you got to go with the purple and pink pack, bro.
Yep. But now later is a forever take your teeth out, yo. Now later's, whew, man.
I had customer complaints. Bazooka gum was only good for like 7 chews, and then it was
7
hard.
chews, bro. 7 chews. Yo, I used to be addicted to the baseball pack gum too, yo. So I used to buy baseball cards.
Yo,
just
it was all stale as hell, but it was still good,
once it got wet, it was Gucci, yo.
bro. The first time you put it in your mouth, bro, it's like,
Oh my god.
Yo, our childhood,
Who was
nothing-
Christian? Hold up.
I'm sorry, childhood, bro.
you
Nothing-
remember
Tell me
that?
something about this, bro. The big ass red lips that you. Oh my god.
Those shits was nasty because they taste like cinnamon, yo.
Hold
Don't
up.
do that, Nick. Don't do that.
Wait. I tried to make a full screen. Nick, do it again, bro. Do it again, Nick. Look at.
I ain't like them shits. Them shits taste like cinnamon, yo. They taste like cinnamon.
Yo, they were so nasty. Why would any of us eat anything with wax, bro?
Because it looked good, yo. It looked good. It looked good. All right, we got to definitely do a top 5 candy, but that's gonna be hard because we gotta do it in categories. Like we gotta do sweet candies and then chocolate candies because you can't
Sour candies.
and then sour candies. Like you gotta have
And hot candies.
I hate hot candy. Like I hate big red
I
gum.
love cinnamon candy, bro.
Really?
Those fire hot, the red hot.
Red hots.
Yo,
red
I
hots,
like
yo.
red hot and cinnamon candy, but I can't stand Fireball, and that's exactly what it reminds me of.
That's what it was.
Fireballs were the worst.
Oh, you talking about the alcohol? Or you
Yeah.
talking-
Oh, the alcohol. I thought you talking about the balls you put in your
Well,
mouth.
I'm saying like the
Oh.
red hot cinnamon candy tastes just like Fireball, but it
That's a-
tastes different in a hard form than it does a liquid. I guess because the way I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I saw. Okay, so who put this in here? Where'd they go? I saw somebody say circus peanuts. I hated those. I don't
remember
what?
circus
the
peanuts.
circus peanuts. They were like an orangish, pinkish kind of color.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do those.
I hated those. My stepfather loved those, man.
Yo, let's put out some Twitter polls, right, from the Nothing But Niners channel, and tag all of us in it, and then we'll have guys vote on top 5, top 4 candies or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what we should do this like? Honestly, we should set up a bracket.
Okay.
A whole.
All right. Say no more.
That's what we should do. We gonna work on this off the air. We're gonna do a whole bracket and see what candy wins it all. That's what.
Oh yeah, hold on. That's
just
just funny as shit.
Nick Kardashian.
Oh, he did the lips. I get it. That's funny. Who is this? Daddy Miller wins the comments for the night, bro. That's it right there. Nick Kardashian. I like that. That's funny as hell right there.
Fun dip.
I remember Fun Dip.
That was a little sugar stick with the powder in there, right?
Yep, the candy necklaces. I remember that.
Oh yeah, they were the best, bro. You just carry
and
them
the wrist joints too. You can eat the joints off the wrist. Runts. Yeah. I remember runts.
I'm stoned. You guys are giving me the munchies. Bro.
This is why we love you guys, man. Oh, how can we forget this? I got the damn factory right down the street from my house.
That's a top 5 candy right there.
Hands down.
You got a toy out of it.
Here's the thing. All them shits taste exactly the same with a different toy.
Oh, yo, I still got my Daffy Duck Pez in there. I still got the Daffy Duck.
Yo, if y'all want Pez joints, let me know, man. The factory is right here. Like
I'm not putting that comment up, Kenny.
Edible underwear. Oops.
I'm not putting that comment.
Whoops. Well, I said it by mistake. My bad.
Hey, that's a whole different category.
This all started with Mike and Ring Pops. So if y'all want to know how we got here, it was Ring Pops. Remember Push Pops? Push pop?
So let me tell you, bro, that's what the debate was. I was in the aisle like this. So I get the Ring Pops or Push Pops. And I was telling my wife we should get both because the girls don't finish all the Ring Pop at one time. I was like, they can put the lid back on
the Push Pop.
But the Push Pops cost a lot more than the Ring Pops. And I was like, nah.
You know why, Mike? Because of the lid. You paying for the lid.
You paying for this, eat some now and get the rest later. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Gushers. I see Gushers. I was
going to say Gushers.
Some of those tonight. I bought the Gushers.
Is Gushers candy or is it more like a fruit snack? Fruit snack? Because we can do fruit snacks too.
One of my favorite candies right now. I'll give you one of my top 5 favorite candies right now. It's a soft gummy candy, but it's
gummy bears.
Gummy lifesavers, bro.
Okay, I could rock with those. So here's what those do,
They're
man.
so addicting.
We didn't even mention lifesavers, bro.
Nope.
How did we not mention lifesavers?
I hated lifesavers, bro.
They were lifesavers.
Let me tell you my favorite ones though, and I'm weird. I got a different taste because I hung out with my grandmother and my other grandmother on my dad's side, but I like the lifesavers that were the butterscotch flavor. I couldn't stand the sweet ones, but the butterscotch joints, I was popping
anything butterscotch, like Werther's Originals, the caramel joints. I could eat a bag of those. Remember the butterscotch square candies, the chewy joints that came in a plastic?
They still one of my favorite joints, man.
Yo, no one talks about those.
Werther's makes an incredible soft butterscotch chew. Like it is incredible. Werther's.
I'm about to have the munchies and I don't even smoke. Now listen, remember. All right, one more. Remember and this is a grandmother's candy. So if you ever go to church, your grandma has these in her purse.
You're not going to say the strawberries, are you?
The strawberries? Mic drop? Mic drop, Jewel.
That is one of the best candies my grandmother ever had. I used to love stealing them from her purse, bro. Those little strawberry packs.
Yo!
God.
And they taste like real strawberry too, yo. Like, I don't understand how they put the strawberry in a hard candy, cuz, like, them joints is legit, man. I rock with those, man. I could rock with those. My bad for leaving.
Yeah, they had a little strawberry wrapper, right?
They had the strawberry wrapper.
Yeah, those Jones were, those Jones were fire too.
All right, we got to get out of here. We'll be here all night, yo. We'll be here all night.
Oh, I can't wait to do this bracket.
Yo, there's another one we got to do is top 5 cereals.
Okay, we're gonna get there. See, but I don't have.
That's a hard bracket, bro.
That's a really hard bracket.
I like healthy cereals, but let me tell you, my weak spot for non-healthy cereals is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's
my favorite. Yeah, that's got to be by far my favorite.
Me and you will never part. That is the joint, cuz.
Let's go.
Yo, listen, nothing trumps Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think I got Frosted Flakes at number 2, Crunch Berries at number. No, Apple Jacks at number 2, Frosted Flakes at number 3, Crunch Berries at number 4, and I could kind of like interchange my number 5. I'm good on anything else, yo.
Incredible. All right,
Maybe
All
Fruit
right,
Loop.
last comment of the night right there.
Fruity Pebbles is my
Body
5.
like-
Thank you, Khalil.
Wait, what did I do? What just happened here?
I think just because he dropped out, like
No,
He
no,
said-
but
Oh, yeah.
I took the words out of his mouth. That's why he did that.
yeah,
Yeah.
He was going the same place that we was going. I was going.
I never ever had this candy, and I don't think I ever will.
I think I've had that. I think I was in like middle school, but I don't remember it too much.
I couldn't stand any candies flavored root beer. Like, I remember the Dum Dums that came out with the.
Yeah, them was nasty.
I couldn't stand root beer flavored candy for some reason. I couldn't get, but it was popular. I won't say it wasn't popular.
It was popular. I bet that in the birch beer ones, I think that's what turned me off from drinking that stuff because the candy messed me up.
Bro,
Taste
it's
the
sold
virgin.
though. I was getting that off. I was getting the root beer candy off, but
I forgot about Honey Nut Cheerios, y'all.
nah, Cheerios.
Yo, there's a lot. bro.
Honey Nut Cheerios. They got to be Honey Nut Cheerios.
It makes your piss smell like the cereal, man. I couldn't do that.
Does it?
Yeah, Cheerio. Oh my god,
I never tried to smell my piss.
It's like
but
asparagus. Like, it's-
Right? I never traced it. I never tried to smell. I'm getting out of here. Come on, let's end this.
All right, I'm sorry, man. Hey guys, any final thoughts on the show tonight, man? We talked about the rumors. We talked about the undrafted free agent class, man. We talked about trash quarterbacks. We were all over the place, fellas. Any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
I love y'all.
yeah, 100,
That's all I
yo.
got, man. I love y'all. I love our supporters. I don't like the racist comments, but yeah, I love the
I
supporters.
didn't see that. Hey, moderators, man. I know y'all out there still. Y'all gotta get on that, man. I don't know who the moderators are. Nick assigned them all, but y'all got to get on it. Keep that negative. Not so much negative. We could take criticism and all that stuff, but if it's racist and stuff like that or getting too political, we got to keep that out of the chat. If you guys see it, just nix that out of the chat for us, please. We really appreciate it, man. We got your back. We want you guys to have our backs also. So the moderators out there, like let's try to keep the chat friendly at all times. Again, criticism is okay. They don't have to agree with what we're saying, but we got to keep it. We got to keep it straight inside the chat. All right. Wifey got me on the keto right now.
Y'all killing me.
Enjoy the meats, bro.
Nah, man. Love everybody, man. Appreciate all you guys' support. Appreciate you guys, and yeah, I'm good, man.
I think that's the mic drop, guys. We're gonna get up out of here. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button and tell your friends about us, man. This is gonna be a lot of fun. We're just getting started, guys. The off season is not an off season for nothing but Niners. So make sure you guys stay tuned in. We're getting guests on, and I'm still trying to top Breezy's phone a friend. It ain't over. He just he don't know how competitive I am.
I know you got something working, so I'm trying to have something in my
I got a couple things
comeback.
working actually.
I got one that'll trump all you mother suckers. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay. All right.
Debbie says our mandatory question to players now has to be favorite candy.
Top king. Oh, I like that.
Thank
I
you,
like that
Debbie.
too.
Thank you, Debbie.
I like
I
that.
love
From
it.
now on, we're gonna have to throw that one in.
And
there.
because Nick did say to you, Mike, yo, ask him what's his favorite Disney movie. You know what I'm saying? We should have asked what his favorite Disney movie, because we were talking about that last time. I like that candy question, yo, because I know they eat that stuff because they burn it off.
Yeah, man. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. We're gonna be bringing you guys some solid content. I promise you guys. This one thing this channel does not do is go stagnant and stale like some of these candies we mentioned. So make sure you guys are locked in. You hit the like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. I can't say this enough, especially when it comes to guests, because when the guests hit us up and say, hey, this is the time frame I got, sometimes you guys won't get the notification of it being a show coming up in half an hour or an hour. So make sure you guys have your notifications on. You're not doing this for us. We benefit nothing from that. It is all for you guys. Make sure you turn on your notification, guys. I understand that we do a lot of shows. It blows up your phones, but you're not going to want to miss when we have to do a on-the-spot show, okay? So that's going to be it for us here at Nothing But Niners. You guys have a good night. Be safe. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Believe it or not, we're going to be right back. Go ahead, Breezy. I see you.
Real quick, someone in here asked which 82 was I wearing. You're gonna. I wish you could guess the 82. It's not Johnson Manningham. It's Mario Manningham.
Oh, for real?
It's Mario Manningham. I don't know how Mike knew that or whatever, but he was on it.
What's another 82 that played for the team? What number would Taylor wear?
Torrey Smith, John Taylor, Mario Manningham.
Bro, John Taylor is one of my. I'm gonna save that for tomorrow's show.
Yeah.
Y'all better get your top 5 receivers ready. That's all I'm gonna say. Get your top 5 of the 49ers receivers ready, fellas, because I can't wait to have that conversation.
So you mean all-time 49er receivers or right now?
No, all time.
All
and
right.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't have that deep knowledge like some of the other people do. I'm not going back to the 60s and shit. I don't know nothing about
I'm
those guys.
starting straight 80s is where I start, yo.
Right. So get your top 5 ready, guys, because I have a point with that. I have a point with that. And it's going to be similar to what we talked about with Cam Newton tonight. All right. So
wasn't there a tight end that wore 82 too? What number did Vance McDonald wear? 89? 89. Thought there was a tight end that wore 82, so we'll figure it out. But anyway, was it Dwelly? Is it Dwelly?
Nah, Dwelly wears 83, I think.
Nah.
Oh, 82. Yeah, he's 82.
I'm about to say
Dwelly.
Dwelly don't wear 80. I don't know if there's an 83. I don't know if there's an 83 on the team right now.
Last 83 I remember was JJ Stokes.
83 is the year I was born, so I think I would notice that. Hold on, I got the team roster pulled up, so it tells you their numbers. Just give me 1 second. Let me just
Freddie
see.
Solomon wore 82.
I'm gonna put it in order by the number. I got it right here, so bear with me.
No, John Taylor.
Ron Taylor, Torrey Smith.
Right now, 83 is Chase Harrell, so nobody was wearing it before.
Chase Harrell. Okay.
They gave Chase Harrell number 80. Oh,
we didn't talk about Chase Harrell tonight either.
We have listen to this, man. We have one. I repeat, one. Nope, 2 now because of the rookie. We have 2 wide receivers that wear numbers in the 80s. I want wide receivers to bring that back, bro.
Yeah.
Wide receiver talk tomorrow.
Yeah, that's for tomorrow's show. But who are the 2 wide receivers? Can y'all guess that wear numbers in the 80s?
Kendrick Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
And Trent Taylor doesn't have 81 anymore. But
it's a rookie guy now.
Jawan Jennings.
Yep, it's Jennings. That's it.
Yeah.
No other wide receiver on the Niners wears a number in the 80s, man. They got to bring that back, man. I miss cheering for the 80s, man. I really, really do. But that's going to be it, man, guys. Thank you guys for checking us out and being patient with us, man. Almost 3 hours of nothing but fun, passion, and love. That's all it was here. So that's going to do it for us, man. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out of here.
Peace.